Where's my what? Hmm? Oh, like the survey? Yeah. Let me grab it real quick then. Okay. It's because it did alphabetical. Yeah. Teammaker did it alphabetical, and I did it not alphabetical. Why say we're offline? Oh, there it is. Under refresh. I literally said I just fucking took I took last wait yeah the December tier list we did. I just scrambled around and people thought it was real. I put overlearn C. I you know. Why would we make it? I don't know. Are we doing it based on strength or are we doing based on popularity? We can do a little bit. We can do both. Oh, I bet the stream overlay is a bit weird. The chat is like covering on top of the tier listing. You're gonna have to move the chat somewhere nicer. You also need to you might need to make it so that it
Hello?
doesn't go onto the actual tier list.
So it doesn't what?
So it doesn't actually go onto the actual tier list once people start talking. I don't know if you know how to do that.
Yeah.
Like a alt or shift or something.
Oh. No, that squishes it.
Or control or something. There's like one key binding where you can use to like
Bro, this thing sucks ass. I heckin' hate.
it's alt. Hold alt and then yeah.
Oh. Yeah, you should. I realized this is Kevin's shitty input, so I had to adjust. Put it right smack in the middle. I'm good. Hello.
Come on, man.
All right, we'll.
What's that translate symbol on the
What?
next to the TI? Wait, why is it TI?
Okay, I was typing in tier one.
No, it's our TI tier.
Yeah, the invitational tier. Best. I like numbers.
Yeah, I hate how people also say like what the fuck's tier is S tier 0?
I like the garbage tier.
Oh, you might want to turn off Facebook. So you don't hear your Facebook
Where's the
notifications. Oh, oh
ah?
my god.
It's
It's
so
worse than
loud.
mine's. It's worse
Mute
than
mute
mine's.
mute.
Oh
There
my
we go.
god.
That was my sister. I had to inform. I was informing her that I was going to Chicago on Saturday.
Yo, where's our BGM though?
Fuck, you rushed me.
Come on, man.
It is because of you. It is now consistently on the front of my
Yo, but I'm training you, so you start doing more streams in place of me.
yams. Yeah. Happy about.
Come on, man. You love making white shirts content.
I do love being away.
Where's our Overlord deck profile?
What do you mean? What? I have that. It's already posted.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, I did that like when the season started for singles.
Dude, I actually don't know. Okay. Okay, where's my avatar deck profile?
That's you. I don't fucking play.
Poggers. Where's our
What's
where's
our
our
what?
Konosuba deck profile? Win choice.
Own that. You own that?
I don't. Dude, owning Konosuba in 2024 is pretty expensive.
Play a game. I'm not playing game. Maybe one of these days. Maybe when I get back from Chicago.
Chicago.
Let's see. Yeah, Chicago. I'm going to see Otto.
What? Chicago?
June. It's the very last event.
My man said when I get back from
No,
Chicago.
I'm going to
it's
Chicago
the
this
last
weekend, you fuck.
event. My man, it's literally the last
I
event.
I am going to Chicago this weekend, Kevin.
You literally said it was the last event. What the fuck?
I'm going to see Otto.
I'm gonna make you auto.
Oh yeah, brother. All right. We'll start now. There's 18 people here to listen to our bad opinions. Hello, everyone. Thank you
Hey,
for
guys.
watching. What?
Hey.
I got auto tickets. Yeah. Oh, Oliver's friend fell through, so I yoinked it. But anyhow, all right. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Strictly Broken tier list stream for the, what is this? 2024 BSF spring season. Everybody knows trios is a super serious format that we should all really care about. So, Kevin and I felt that with the fact that he just went to a event and I have an event next weekend, that I wanted to do this because there's a pretty open format right now. There's a lot of things you can play, but I think there's a very clear best couple decks. And in general, I think it's just nice for people to have an idea of like what they can feel comfortable playing if they wanted to try hard, but maybe they don't own Chainsaw Man. Want to be the Chainsaw Man. So,
Okay, but we know Chainsaw Man's #1 though.
yeah, we know Chainsaw Man. That's besides the point. So, I'm gonna keep this off. I was originally gonna do this as just a what to watch out for tier list, but I think that is kind of dead in the water now. If you just look at our sponsor Weiss Tea Times website for their amazing tournament coverages, you can kind of just see what decks to expect now. Whether I agree with how good those decks are, that's what we'll talk about now. But we will just go.
What's your hot takes?
Yeah, I mean, there's only one hot take. Not Konosuba. So, anyhow, we will just start from the top. Start with Quince. 8 choice. Played against 8 choice. You can play against it all in Houston, right?
No, it's like I still think it's like probably like a. Dude, I actually think Quince is like starting to fall off to tier 3, but I'll still put them tier 2 for now.
I mean, I think. Okay, I think. We'll put both of these here. I think these two, personally, are around the same power.
They kind of dropped the bottom of tier 2 though.
I think Nino is still really strong.
You think Nino's still really strong?
I do. I think the fact that Nino hasn't been doing any Nino did start doing things actually in trios, but I think people sleeping on this deck is insane because this deck is unbanned, completely unbanned still. Well, completely.
The only difference is
no Nino at 2 is that's like huge.
That's the only.
Okay, but this deck was this deck post ban was the best deck in Japanese, and got Nino put to 2. I just think people are sleeping.
I think the game got power crept.
Think so? I don't. Maybe a little bit. I do think if in the world that I want where everything gets purged, I think Nino is like.
Personally, I think it's like weak against Slime, weak against Avatar.
That's why I said in the world where all the things that I hate get purged. All these decks you're gonna see at the top of this list are all things that I would like purged.
All right, my hot take is
how do I add? I actually think we have to have a format fall. This is one of the things where I think there's like a really big. Yeah, it's fine. But I'm okay with putting them all here. I personally do it like this. I think each has like the least merit to play. Maybe its merit is that it falls in line better with these how these decks up here will all play, where it's got the really gross, icky, disgusting finisher. But I
But I
think
think it's like not having a decompression tool is like pretty
that is
fucking
also a big problem. Well, this has Mocha, right? Technically, it is a decompression. Just like this.
no,
Same
it's
thing with
not stock
Ichika,
stop for meal.
right? Same thing with Ichika. Ichika's cancel burn into a shuffle back, which is decompression tool.
Jason's audio cutting in and out slightly when he gets quieter. Yeah, Jason, can
Oh,
you speaking your mic properly?
I'm trying, bro. I don't know what's wrong with it. I don't know what these settings are.
Don't mind our scuff stream.
Yeah,
Jason's first
whatever.
time, second time.
Well, this is because it's not the tier. I had set it up for the tier list one. I didn't set it up for this one. It's like a whole different like set of heaven thingies. Well, we'll just leave it as is. It's to be a problem. Anyhow, yeah. So I think. Do you have any objection with which one, like of the Quinn stacks? Do you have a preference towards any of them? Question.
I still think each cut's probably the best. IMO.
Best. I mean, I'm biased. I love this. I love this deck. I've been talking about it. God knows what, a year now, give or take. I love this deck. But Itsuki probably deck has like no real tools outside of anything that these decks can bolt. Aside from having gross finish. But if you don't want to play the game, AOT.
Tier 3 at best is probably tier 4.
I'll
To be
put it
honest.
here for now. I want to see what we end up putting here, but this is very likely. I think this deck has like basically no merit looking at right now, right?
I don't think I saw a single AOT
I would
in
okay.
Houston. Not even when I'm walking around. There's like
I think
almost no merits to play AOT right now.
that would surprise me just a little bit, if only because so many people I think bought it when it had come out.
I mean,
But
it is a proper IP, and it
yeah,
was the
that's like
set was
my
hyped as AOT spooky.
yeah the deck of the format, right? When it was like the
Yeah,
best deck for forever, so it has to be good. But no, I think this deck just doesn't have any merit. It has its cool things. Nothing cares about reversing, so gear doesn't matter. And your top end is just an Icy Tail, and there's significantly better Icy Tail decks in the format that you could be
AK is
playing.
AK the best deck in the format.
Yeah, I mean, and there's also like other ones too. I think there's. Oh no, that's shape. That's shape. Yeah, the best deck in the format is an Icy Tail. That's just infinitely better than this. So why would you ever look at this when you could? Spoiler alert.
And I feel like
Holy,
fans of AOT probably cross over with fans of Chainsaw Man quite often.
probably. And it's not like this deck is like significantly cheaper than some of these other better decks in the format anyway. Not even
But
like a cost thing.
the door choice deck still needs to play like
Okay,
Armageddon.
level 0 Icy Tail is not quite the same, but it doesn't make it better. So also burn X versus burn ones. I think I would still rather have the Icy Tail that isn't hitting on level 0. And I played this deck at like multiple events. Ari Fureta. I think Ari Fureta. I don't know if it's better than Quince or worse than Quince. Probably better. I think this deck has a lot going on. But I don't know. I don't think it's better than like I'd put up. Have you played? You played with Ari Fureta, right? The old bar deck.
So my living experience of playing against it is from my locals. I did watch Sam just like hose Riaz
Well,
on
oh yeah, but, okay,
Arifra
but
in
that
Houston,
was
but that was
like
like a bad early game type of deal.
yeah.
But
Even
yeah,
Sam told me.
I think Arifra is like can falter to just bad early games much
Yeah.
more
So
than our decks.
from what I've seen with Ari Fureta, yeah, it's one of those decks where it pushes a lot of damage really fast. And so, if it wins that damage race immediately, like if it just sticks you, it's that common Weiss thing of how do I play the game when I'm 2-4 to my opponent's 1-0, right? Because they just slammed 3-2 souls and I just ate it, which is miserable. And then, it has a good enough top end. If it actually cancels, it has the resources, and it has like the top end that can actually use all that extra stock that it generates to push, I think, a really good amount of damage, kind of similar to like Avatar or Gura, I guess, in this like the raw points of damage. Obviously, it's spending an infinite amount of stock to do, but I think that's really cool. I think because there's not that many stock swap decks in the game. Granted, two of the best decks in the game right now, three of the best decks do have stock swap. You have to be mindful of. But I think Arifureta has a pretty good amount of ways to spend their stock too, if it actually like cares. And then against anything that isn't stock swap, it can just press into community. I personally do like this deck a lot. I'd probably put it upper tier 2. But we'll have to see where. I do really like Arifureta. And if anybody in chat ever wants to see any of these decks we're talking about, I do have them all like pulled up so I can reference them. And we can probably talk about Adventure Time. So this was just one trick wonder, right? That was all this was.
Yeah, so I think Adventure Time will fall in the same place with Konosuba and the Cell deck. They're pretty much pet decks where a specific person piloted them really well, but I don't think the average player base will be able to pilot them into the same success.
I'm actually just gonna think this deck wasn't good when it wasn't really that good when it came out.
When it came out, I
Turn
mean,
down.
Jake and Finn finisher has been pretty good.
Finn and Jake is really good. Let me go look at this. Kevin, you talk about.
Yeah. So Adventure Time has been around for a while as an English exclusive or English original set. When it came out, it didn't do crazy amount, but you always have to worry about Jake finisher being a decent finisher, having multiple instances of damage. And then it also had the sword event that can bounce too. That thing is pretty strong as well.
I agree. I think sword is a sick card. It always will be.
I think sword is better when there are good defensive decks. My lord, what the fuck was that?
That was me opening Twitch, and one of those shitty videos started because it's that. So we're gonna ignore that now. Anyhow, continuing on. Yeah, that was ow. That hurt my ears.
So
anyhow,
the double bounce event is like better when there's like stronger defensive deck in the mirror. Stuff like if Mushoku and Hololive, Asambo Hololive was more popular, though, then that event becomes really strong. I think that's a bypass hexproof. It doesn't, right?
No, it's still
slime. And then all the other decks, they don't care if they get their stuff bounced.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I agree.
Pretty much solid. Like I think
you're just Finn and Jake the deck, right? That's it.
Yeah, I think the guy who even got top 8 with that deck was just like saying it was more like he got lucky and his piloting skill was better than the deck actually is.
I mean, he definitely did. He definitely did diff some people. I'll say that much. Watching those stream games.
Mm-hmm.
Right. If I tried fixing it a little bit. If it's still a problem, just let me know. Ragnarok, Carmen, whoever. I appreciate you. And yes, when we get to Guilty Gear, we can talk about the Guilty Gear deck. I can show you what the build looks like. I think Kevin just stole my build, so that should be fine. But yeah, I think as for AT, really 2 tiers lower than AOT. I mean, I think AOT is like the bottom of this at best. It's probably more here, but I do think AOT has a lot more modern tools than Adventure Time has, and can actually play like a mid game, and has things like Armin 3-2 to facilitate being a better deck. And having hexproof is still relevant. It'll always be good. Hexproof is pretty broken. So Avatar.
Yeah, but the thing always comes in. You want to play good stuff deck, you're better playing Chains of Man. If you want to play,
Of course,
hexproof.
Yeah, these are both like completely out of contention for things I would be bringing to. I would probably not bring anything outside of tier 2 and above to an event unless you just really like it. Like again, trios is a format where one person can pretty reasonably bring their favorite deck, as long as the other 2 people are on like super meta things, and you can still probably expect to do well because it's just the nature of it. But you just accept that you are holding your team back by being that guy. But Avatar though, this deck's like tier 1.5. This deck's fucking broken. I mean, I'm even like inclined to put it up here, but I do think, as much as I'm hot take, I don't like slime very much. I do think the popularity of slime makes this deck a little bit harder to play. I think that's like one of its poor matchups.
Chainsaw Man also plays decently well into
Yeah, Chainsaw Man denies reverse as
the
well.
Avatar. You can
Since
because you have the Power Stalker, you can empty lane if they don't have JC, and if you
Mhm.
have and you can easily heal onto 2-0 and keep decent enough compression.
Yeah, although I will say things like Chainsaw Man, Avatar is really good at denying reverses for multiple reasons. Low power dudes and the Shinobu bouncer both just kind of like deny your any opponent's ability to crash into your things because they're really good at fielding like multiple 500 power dudes, right?
Yeah, but having the Power Stalker is like the best way
Yeah,
to
yeah, of course.
get to that. You only get one reverse, and one
Power,
reverse
but yeah,
can
but
be a lot
that's
worse
why it's
than
broken
two
though because they
reverses.
have the 2-2.
Mm-hmm.
Azula 2-2 is like the crutch that makes it so nothing else matters. You're like, oh man, I got one reverse, but you still get 6 attacks for 6
Mm-hmm.
stock, right?
Something like that.
Yeah, some
You,
ridiculous amount of
you get
you
I
push them the
think
ridiculous amount
you
of
get 7
damage.
attacks. You get 7
7,
attacks.
right, because you just need one to be on death to proc everything. Yeah, I mean that's ridiculous in my opinion. That one reverse is still equal to 7 attacks, even if the attacks are a little bit worse.
One burn 3.
Yeah, one birth through with a top deck. Yeah, I mean this deck's
And
broken. I
then
would be
Chainsaw
willing
Man
to put this
opening
up here,
lanes
but
makes your extra attacks actually better.
yeah,
So I play test Icecraft 10 Avatar versus Chainsaw Man, and played a bunch of Avatar versus Chainsaw Man at BSF,
yeah,
and an
you just shove
Avatar
them, right?
can still shove him.
Yeah, don't worry. I saw Dan molding at you, reaming him constantly. I mean, yeah, that is, people. It's the weakness of Chainsaw Man. It's the weakness of every deck in Weiss Schwarz. Things just die to taking too much damage too early before they're allowed to start really playing the game. Because first deck is a really scary place to have to play Weiss Schwarz if you don't have a lot of deck speed. Which things like Chainsaw Man, it does have a lot of deck speed, but it's because a lot of their deck speed comes at a premium. They can't do it right away. They usually need like a turn or two to justify spending that kind of stock to get out of poor decks. So, guess what Avatar's really good at doing? They stand by at level 1. Suddenly, their next turn, if they're at 1, they can just attack 4 times if they want to, maybe more.
One thing I think Chainsaw's it's really strong against. Like, if a good player knows how to play a deck, they can make it so that they're less volatile to stock swap because you know it's refresh.
Oh yeah.
At the end of turn.
Well, yeah. I mean, this deck's like broken, but yeah, this is probably here. I could be inclined to put it up here, but we'll leave it here for now, and then we'll see kind of where things fall. But it's definitely like in this little area right here. Azure Lane. This is a solid tier 2 deck. I don't know if it's better or worse. I'll put it better than Arifreda because I think cats are the most toxic, one of the most toxic level 0s in this game. They're both like here. I don't think either of these decks are better than the other. It's just preference of top end. They're playing the same exact deck until level 3. Did you didn't play Azure Lane at all, right? With the
No, Azure Lane falls into those type of decks where it's like maybe you'll see it. It's like decently likely that someone.
I wouldn't suspect.
But,
yeah, I wouldn't be surprised sitting against it.
You probably won't face it yourself that often.
Yeah, cats are just the most degenerate thing for anybody that that doesn't know. Maybe you're watching just to kind of learn. You're going to your first Spring Fest. Azure Lane has these 2 level 0s, Fuso and Yamashiro. Fuso is a level 0 that says on play you can discard 1 to search your deck for the Yamashiro, which is a 3k vanilla. Puts it onto the board and it's a 35. And while Yamashiro's on the board, it gets a soul and it gives +1 soul to all copies of Yamashiro. So cats will tend to play this obnoxious mini game with you where they'll go, if they open multiple of this card, they'll go like play down double Fuso, ditch 2 cards, search double Yamashiro, put 1 Fuso to the back row. So they have double vanilla in the front row and one of the search bonder in the front row. And they attack you for 3-3-2 at 0 while you probably have open lanes. So it's probably closer to like 3-4-3. And, this is like probably the first turn of the game, maybe the second turn of the game. So you're liable to just take a million damage. And so you just get coin flip by this deck because that's all this deck really has that's special or interesting. Because I think other than that, Azure Lane is super vanilla at all points.
And since you only had 1 turn,
you might be able to kill the cards.
A single attack, yeah, you might not even be able to kill the vanillas. They said a decent number.
Yeah, because they'll have 2 5Ks and a 35.
Yeah.
And like maybe you kill the 35, and if you kill the 35, they're like, that's cool. Promote the other 35, and then just slam the bar.
Mm-hmm.
It's I mean, I hope my teammates sacks with this deck. It's the deck that can do that. If any deck,
It's what
literally,
we call the coin flip deck.
this deck is just as likely to steal games as this deck or this deck is, and this deck will do it from level 0. From like the first turn of the game, this deck will actually like just demoralize people, and I think it's really miserable. And I think most people I've talked to have had a lower, like a lower like feedback loop playing against Azulane than they ever have like Gura. And I thought Gura was one of the decks that was worse with that, where you just like lost the game at 2. You just like win because you're like, oh man, I took 11 damage the first turn of the game, and I clocked a 2 to play I clocked a 2 on my second turn of the game. That's really cool.
Anytime you roll up and then you open your hand, you see 2 CXs, you mulligan them, draw 2 more CXs.
It's scarier than playing with the 2-soul deck.
Discard
Literally,
an Azulane card. It's over.
You're like, please don't have the cat. Please, this will be this. Let this be the game where they don't open the cat. And then they always open the cat every time. But yeah, this deck probably tier 2 on just the merit of the cats being toxic. In reality, though, Bismarck is a pretty cool top end, I think. For 7 stock, I believe this deck gets to go double restander with Mocha applied to the restanders, which is basically it's like kind of Diet Itsuki realistically, but it's playing a different game throughout the rest of it. Where like because of the cats and stuff, this is like a really good way to close out the early like damage lead that you get. So I think this card's really cool. Shinano, the bar level 3, is a lot more standard because it's just a it's just a ditch 2 and it's 6 stock. And then it's just it mills your deck out, so if you're compressed, it'll do a lot of damage. It's one of those top ends that I think are cool, if only for the fact that when you don't hit the burns, you put your deck into usually such like an insane deck state that you can play this card down, whiff completely on like two of these, and then be like, well, I probably don't die next turn because if I milled like you mill 18 cards, if you only hit like 2 climaxes and your deck is full, you're like, maybe I just don't die anymore. So that's cool. Not something to really bank on though. I would personally play Bismarck because it's check X for your climax, and I think the package of cards it plays is just overall cooler. But in the end, just pick your flavor if you like the more all-in versus the deck that can actually heal. Also, because Azulane has no mid game, their early play is really bad, and they only have a single early play in the whole set that heals. It's pretty miserable. Right. Bang Dream.
Bang Dream probably down to tier 3 with Attack on Titan. I think this flavor of Bang Dream is similar to Attack on Titan now.
You think so? Like the I feel like anti damage has some merit, but maybe less than I think it does. Because I guess because it's not hexproof, right? So Chainsaw Man just double bounces you. Avatar
Avatar can just top deck before the burn.
Yeah, Avatar will top deck you. And then what else? Gura does get cucked, but that's like probably whatever. Gura has they play the IMA level down too. They can hit it with the IMA level down if they want to. Yeah, I think there's enough of the good decks just don't care about the anti-burn. If you like Bang Dream though, I would put this in like tier 3, agree with Kevin, but I would consider this a deck this would be like a perfectly fine third. If my third looked at me and they're like, I really want to play Bang Dream, I would concede this before I ever conceded this. I'd be like, sure, yeah, you can play Bang Dream. Bang Dream has a million cards. It also has some spicier builds too.
I would rather pick Quince over Bang Dream.
I agree. I do agree. Yes, Bang Dream still kind of has no mid game unless you play Choo-Choo. And Choo-Choo doesn't really work in these decks, at least. These are all just to be prefaced, this is all the decks that are on the community tier list. We felt it was easier just to go over all the decks that people agreed to want to talk about from the community. And there's no decks that I particularly, nor Kevin, felt particularly strongly about that we wanted to add. So, yeah, I mean, for anybody that doesn't know, level 1 in these two decks, the Yukina versus the Kasumi. Kasumi is just on play salvages her event. That's look at mill top 3, salvage X equals to the number of characters. Yukina is on reverse, ditch 1, search 2, and she attacks pretty big. This card's really good at looping its combo because it can grab a card that replays it and it's pretty big. This card, it just salvages itself with the event, so it kind of plays like the Grisaya way. This was the deck before Grisaya that did that. And in the end,
Yoji.
Yeah, in the end, these crutch on. I get to play triple anti-burn in my lanes for cheap, which can be good. Not particularly in this format. I think it's super good. Like we mentioned, there's a lot of decks that can remove the card before it becomes relevant. So
And finisher is not that good to abuse the stocks off
yeah,
Romeo.
it's not even a strong finisher. Yeah, it's an end of attack burn too. So
yeah, I don't think the Yukino finisher is probably like that like anniversary.
Birdcage.
No, the anniversary one. Well, that's just a burn.
Oh no, that card's stinky. I don't like that card at all.
Yeah, I mean that's like the best one, but at that point you're better off playing Seven Deadly Sins.
Just play other. Yes, just play Hendrickson, dude. I don't even like this deck, but you can play Hendrickson. All right, we'll save Bochi, and we'll like Oreka, what we will talk about because this is actually coming up. But Bochi won't even be out for this season.
Wait, is Bochi actually not out for any?
No, Bochi's July.
Wait, Bochi's
yeah. So we didn't really talk about this.
Bochi should be June.
No, it's July, isn't it?
No,
even if it's June, the last event is Chicago, which is the first week of June.
Okay. Then yeah, Bochi's
Annie doesn't work because EN doesn't have the PR. What PR? I'm actually not familiar. Also, thank you for the 15 months, Mr. Fresh Cabbage.
Wait, anniversary bang dream?
Yeah, I don't know what PR. He'll tell us.
Well, yeah. All the deck lists are just.
Yeah, I don't.
If you go on the community tier list, like a survey,
there's a PR that lets you summon
all the deck lists.
Oh, what the Pants Yukina? There's a card that lets you summon that card for free. Oh, I see. I think Boji might be legal for Australia or some OCE event. Maybe. I thought Bochi was just not legal for anything. If it's legal for anything, we'll talk about it. But
let me quickly check. BSF 2024. Let's go. June 14th. So that means it'll have to be like the last week of June. It'll be legal for. June 1st, June 6th. Well, nope, there's not a single event.
Yeah, so we can talk about Bochi as an honorable mention because it'll be relevant for Swiss, and I think most of these decks will still be relevant for Swiss. I think this deck is super sick. I like it a lot, but we won't talk about it just yet. Okay. We'll talk about the less cool Chainsaw Man. The cooler, but not as strong Chainsaw Man deck first, because I think this deck's cool. Have you played against 6-choice 2-door Chainsaw Man?
No.
All right. So, you played against Railgun, though, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. So this deck... Yeah, so this deck is probably like a solid tier 2 deck. I'd probably put it up here, because it's still Chainsaw Man. The way this deck works is you play the anti-level 2 power. Kind of late, I know. If this was Alice format, it would have been a lot cooler. It's an anti-level 2 combo that's just like I think it was like a Maguro, whatever. It doesn't matter, right? It's just a generic level 1 combo. It's on a choice. It's cool. You have the door as a 2-of in your mid game, which is the Makima early play. She early plays if the Riki is in your clock, and then she says on play you can either put the door to your stock or to your hand. Can I pull this one up? I can absolutely pull this one up. Let me see whose list you used for this.
I literally used the list that won, that topped, or came second at JP Worlds.
Okay, we're not going to use this list. I don't think his list was very good. We're going to use my friend Mr. Dumpin' Donuts list.
What the fuck?
K's list is such a meme, actually. Hang on.
Oh, my man came second over Earls. What the fuck?
Yeah. Okay, I'll show you this list, and we can look at this list, and then we can also look at the other list. Let me go grab his real quick. Hang on.
Yo, don't you love 12 1-us?
Yeah. So originally my local.
You're gonna need to shift the list to the side of it. It is a big off on the stream.
Let me see. I'll look at it. I'm trying to. Yuka. You didn't see that.
Yuka.
Oh yeah, I see. Okay, we'll shift this over for now. The amount he cooked was insane. He really did. Where is this? God damn it! We had to have this whole conversation. This is unfortunate. But anyhow, yeah. So this deck, this is K's list. My problem with this list is purely that it is really spicy. Not quite conventional. I think this is a list from somebody that really just knew this deck and knew how he wanted to play, and it's not something that a normal person could mimic. This is just like a him deck. Because he's playing like 2 of the combo, which normally you'd be playing like 4 of this because this is your main early game, but he's choosing to also play the Chainsaw Man, TD, Bonder stuff, which I don't think is pretty normal.
What
Um,
the Bonner is like a merge.
yeah, the merge bond. Yeah, the merge thing. Yeah, and then like his zero is like okay, I guess. It's just like really, really, really spicy.
It's all
Now a
over
more
the place.
conventional list would look like this. This is what this list looked like more before, and this is what my local started to pick up. I sent him this list, and he liked this list a lot more. So we have like the early play. The early play summons a Chainsaw Man as an act when you're level 3. So it'll summon your top end. You have a pretty standard Chainsaw Man 0. I don't think anything here is super special. You have the TD Ricky that salvages. You have the Search Ricky that's your thing for your combo. You have your the Marker Runner, which this card's just really good. The sack Brainstorm, whatever. Your zeros are just this Aki. It gives your Denji. I think it this Denji? Like in a dream did. Yeah, it gives your runner choice trigger if there's a climax. Of a climax with choice. I see it broke. Yeah, with the climax with choice in the climax zone, this gets choice trigger, which is pretty neat. I don't think that comes up that often, to be honest. You just need this card to make your early plays bigger and your combo bigger. Yeah, this is your level 1 combo. It's just a check 4. It's whatever. Anti-level 2. It's pretty big off turn too though, which is nice. So you can play a counter if you so wished. And then your gimmick is that Makima says on play, you can choose her climax, put it to your stock or to your hand. So you can play down 2 of these for 3 stock, put the door into your hand off of her effect. Because you go play 1, stock it, pay 2, put it to your hand. And then when you slam it, you reveal top card of your deck. If it's an event or a Devil Hunter character, you get to shoot one of your opponent's characters. You're basically always just shooting their. Technically, you can try field this, but you're just gonna shoot their back row most of the time anyway.
That is true. Okay,
Yeah.
Bochi is legal for France.
Oh, it's legal in France. Cool. Then we'll talk about it, and we won't even feel bad about it.
Yeah, it's not.
Fantastic.
I mean, it technically is legal for Vietnam, but Vietnam is not doing Weiss.
Okay, fantastic. That's awesome. But yeah. So this just gets to shoot their back row out, right? All like like the Milim level 1 combo stuff like that. But this is doing it at a bit of a later point where like your opponent has most likely committed some sort of back row to play the game, so it actually gets to hit notable things. And then you have this broken power that's just ditch 3, search 4, put 1 to stock, 3 to hand, so it just hand fixes you for whatever you want at level 3. Boring early play, nobody cares about this card. And then Chainsaw Man, also pretty boring card, I think, overall. It's just a healer. It's 11k, and it has what is it? On attack burn 1, and then
cross turn like pay 2 ditch 2.
Yeah, and then has cross turn pay 2 ditch 2 burn I think 2
2
burn 2
2
and then burn 2 top deck. So it's perfectly fine. The idea is that you can cheat it out. This Aki gets to make it decently big. The Makima can kind of, if they put like a level act or something down, you can kind of try to gimp their board. Whatever, you just kind of play. It's a super normal game, but it has like that more mid-gamey hate, and it plays more towards a cooler mid-game than I think the normal Stock Soul bar deck does. I don't think this deck is like anywhere near as strong as like the normal meta deck for Chainsaw Man, but I think this deck is like super duper cool.
Okay,
And
the mid game for Stock so far is pretty insane though.
It's broken, but it's like I think it's pretty boring.
I mean, it's boring, but
this is a cooler, right? I think Makima feels good to play, and it feels strong. It always feels strong to kill your opponent's stuff, all like Overlord and stuff, right? Just getting to shoot your opponent's card. It also, because this card can shoot anything, you do make it hard to anti-change you, so you can like kind of make like really strong mid game pushes with like open lanes and whatever too. I just think this deck is pretty neat. I'd probably put it like here. It's like less toxic, so maybe it'd go here. I really do think the toxicity of the Azure Lane Cats is like not a thing, but it's all like relative. I don't think it's super crazy. And now we'll talk about the big man,
the best deck,
Mr. Best Deck in the format. Probably the most fair best deck in the format though, and I'll stand by that for forever. I don't think any like
easily.
It's just good Weiss Schwarz, man.
On turn 1. So you can go some turns they go like +6 stock. Can early play spam heal, can go for compression. If I actually think if you don't have a stock swap, you're like pretty bone against
Chainsaw
Man as well.
It depends. You have to have stock swap like or be early aggression, right?
Yeah, the fact that they can get 6 free stock a turn, if they so be it, or at least 5 free stock.
It's usually it's usually 4 to 5 max. Getting the 5th stock does concede lanes, which can be its own problem at certain points.
Mhm.
I think where this deck does falter is it has really bad, it can have some really awkward hand fixing. I think it's a little awkward sometimes. If you get like a couple bars stuck in your hand or like you draw too many, it can be a little hard for this deck to fix that without spending a lot of stock, right? Because obviously it's yes, it has a check 3, add 1, ditch 1, brainstorm, but that is
But
still
if you have
conditioned
a
on hitting climaxes.
where if your
Um,
climax flooded, you
you
might
probably
just
don't
need
have them
like
to hit,
2 or 3 stock.
and then like you can do some neat things where you can go like play the Rico into play the Bonder to search one, or like Rico into Rico. Didn't y'all just make a tier list like a month ago? No, we haven't done a tier list in a hot minute actually.
No, that was PGH Weiss the man tier
Yeah,
list.
yeah. PGH made their tier
I
list.
was also part of that
Kevin
though.
was just on it because Carmen
I'm
hates
just
me.
here I'm just here to be part of this too.
Yeah,
But we're gonna be this one goes on the specific decks rather than sets the
yeah.
whole.
This is how I prefer to do tier lists anyway. And Kevin's here because he just went to Houston, and I haven't played an event yet. So
I grinded a lot of English White Schwartz last
I'm
week.
really proud of you.
First
That's
time
probably
in a
more
while.
Weiss than you've played in forever.
True. Probably
But
played
yeah,
more Whites than all of last year.
I think Chainsaw Man is a deck that doesn't need to be talked about too much. I think the biggest thing is, do you want to be? Where's Pro Sakai? Pro Sakai's like up here, but if it was in English, I think that deck's broken. But yeah, I think CSM. The biggest decision with CSM right now is: do you want to play the Kishibe or do you not want to play the Kishibe? I think they both have a lot of merit. Um, do you have any preference between them, Kevin? Before I go
Mm,
or talk about them.
okay, so from what I was talking, Brian, the guy who owns Nova TCG and Strictly Broken, he went 6-0 during Houston, and he said he went 2-4 in Cali when he was playing, Kishibe. He really is part of the Kishibe train.
Okay.
Pretty much forcing an opponent to either not be able to respond to Kishibe or forcing to spend resources to answer Kishibe puts you miles ahead. The only problem is, as you said, it is worse against Overlord when they know you can't counter their board. But Overlord is not popular here in the West.
Yeah, I mean, I love Overlord. That's like the thing, right? Kishibe to me is like you're so much stronger in Swiss rounds against the garbage, but you are really bad into Overlord when you play Kishibe, especially if you just like commit the Kishibe, which I think is just wrong. I think if you're playing against Overlord, the trick is you just play like you don't have Kishibes in your deck. You don't even commit that card. Maybe you can at least pretend like you have an anti-change counter, which we know Kishibe's deck normally don't have anti-change counter because it's kind of like a wasted slot, and Kishibe eats 4 slots up. But I think like your consistency to do certain things and your flexibility with your zeros and stuff is a lot better without Kishibe. But yeah, I think if you want to be that Swiss menace, it's just easier to play Kishibe. But I think if you can convert into um like the top 8, I think non Kishibe is probably a little bit stronger when you're playing against like more competent players. Because you can kind of like flex around more what you're doing, and also especially in trios, like you're not probably playing the mirror all that often unless you're unlucky. 33% chance. But I don't know. I
If
know
you don't want to play the
Japan.
mirror, you play C slot. I saw
Yeah.
there's like almost no Chains of Man C slot.
Okay. Well, now
I'm
there's
pretty
gonna
sure
be Chainsaw Man's in C slot,
all
dude.
Chains of Mans are A or B slot usually.
Yeah. I don't know.
And now we're about to see all the Chains of Man B C slot.
Well, I think in Cali they were A and C slot, weren't they? But it's not like it ever matters. Literally, where you go never matters. It's just how people are feeling on the day. But yeah, I mean, this deck's broken. I know Japan actually preferred Kishibe list, apparently. When I was talking to Darcy, he was telling me that a lot of people in Japan were preferring no Kishibe, which I thought was interesting. And apparently at like Worlds when they were doing like the little exhibition, the people that were playing unbanned were mostly playing without him. So I thought that was cool. But yeah, this deck's broken. Best deck in the game. I would be very surprised when I'm more surprised when teams don't have Chainsaw Man. I respect it if you just don't like it or like you find this deck boring, you don't want to play it. But I think it's ignorant to not know what this deck does inside and out and know what all the cards do because they play the same exact 46 cards. It's literally like the same 40 maybe 44 cards if you don't play certain flex slots. No, no, I would say Kishibe was still pretty potent at the time when Chainsaw Man got banned. That card 10k was still impossible to climb. But like it was still
He also
definitely
played in a
deniable.
meta where Overlord was like.
I mean, Himino can get reverses now. Himino is so easy to get reverses with in English. The only deck walling it is Chainsaw Man. Like reasonably.
Unless you
So,
randomly do run into like a standby whole life.
but even then, you can still get like, you can still probably get it because they're not fielding at that big of a. Avatar can't. Well, I mean, if they back row a JC, then maybe you can't. But if you're on double Himino, you can still expect one Himino. Hololive can only if they're playing 8 standby. I don't think any of the other Hololive decks can reasonably deny it because nobody plays like JC or anything. Quince not really. I don't think Quince can deny it very well. At 1, none of the Quince decks are that big. Itsuki doesn't really even play counters like that, nor does it have the consistency to have counters in its hand. Nino
Unless Nino
can,
like
I guess.
Trifields.
Trifields 1/1.
Yeah, like the ones that can't be reversed, then yeah, sure.
Like I think you could make an argument that a lot of decks could deny Himeno, but not
a lot of decks
reasonably.
Spy
yeah, but these are all contingent on these decks hitting like triple, right? You only need a single. They only play for single Himeno. All right, Slime cannot. Slime is not denying Himeno at any reasonable point in this game.
Well,
I'm gonna be real.
Slime can hit 75 AK walls with his standby variant.
Ugh. I'm good. If they're hitting me with the Tri-Field Rimuru, they're just fucking sacking, bro.
Oh, they only need like.
No, it's not about these decks being popular. It's about the consistency of these decks can Tri-Field 3 things that deny Himeno that needs a single reverse. Himeno fiends for like 1 reverse, and if you resolve 1 or 2 Himenos in the game, you're like kind of vibing.
Himeno's only 6'5", right?
6'5", yeah. 6'5", you send him a bar if she's 8'5", if she's 7'5".
Slime can reasonably get a triple lane of 7'5".
I'm not saying it's the same, but I'm saying like EN still has plenty of easy reverses. Like I think you're being a little hyperbolic about the reverses it can get. Playing in my locals alone with like a lot of people playing things like Spy, like Chainsaw Man, Overlord, all these decks like Himeno still getting reverses. One of my friends, like one of my close friends that's come with me to Toronto, he's been playing non-Kishibe. I've been playing Kishibe, and he's still doing extremely well with the deck. Like, it's still just very easy. Also, if you like it's just good to not be hated on by when people are playing Kishibe hate because they're wasting the cards in their deck. And they might like pre-field them to be like, hey, your Kishibes are gonna side me, and it's like, no, bro, I don't play Kishibe, sorry. Anyhow, enough about Chainsaw Man the meta. Macross is based, by the way. That deck's so sick. I love that deck so much. Don Machi, we're just gonna slide this like, man, like, what does this deck do? What does this deck kill? It kills Kishibe, I guess. Hestia sucks. Your mid game sucks. Your zeros suck. No, you're fucking. That deck's fucking garbage.
And a lot of people who have like -500 hate against Overlord.
We'll put it. It can kill Kishibe. Yeah, Damashi gets dunked on by Overlord. Oh my god.
No, I mean like all the people who random -500 hate for Overlord.
Oh yeah. It's just like against Overlord. Yeah, they get hit. The bell gets hit, and you're like, oh, I needed that card. Adding this deck needs that card more than Overlord needs that card because Overlord can kind of play around it, and we'll talk about that when we get to Overlord. Yeah, I think this deck. I don't even think this deck is worth redeeming. Don't play this deck, please. Unless Danmachi's just your favorite anime, man. I know it did well with like the.
Essie is your favorite waifu.
Yeah, well, I mean, Bar Door did well in Houston, and I'm not gonna pretend I can.
Did Danmachi top?
Yes, Danmachi Bar Door with the Ryu Itsuki combo and the Bell 2-1 restander did top. I don't know their record.
What?
Yeah, hang on, I'll pull it up.
I need to look at the Houston.
No, I'll pull the deck up. It's it was a deck of all time, for sure. I'm kind of curious what their record was. If they did well, that's awesome. I'm curious what their record is and what their matchup was, but like I can't analyze this deck in any meaningful way and be like, yeah, this deck makes sense to me. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. It was on Mr. Space Cadet's team. Space Cowboy, not Space Cadet. That's somebody else. Yeah, Mr. Space Cowboy's team had this. Here's the list. Can you see it well on the stream? We'll find out. Yeah, you can.
What am
Yeah,
I
so
looking at?
yeah, I don't know. So I mean, this is like the restander thingy that comes off of the Ions bouncer thing. It restands if you experience 6 for pay 3. It's pretty expensive with the door. I don't know. I think one of these cards gave hexproof, didn't it? But it's a healer. Total level experience 6 gives 15. Oh, this is a clock kicker. Was it the seer that gave hexproof or something? It gives hexproof, I guess. 2k hexproof assist and it's on play search 1. I guess that card's pretty neat. So we got hexproof assist. We got a ditch 2 clock kicker like the Leafa from Sao. Ryu combo. That one early play they always play. I think this was a Leafa punch. 3,500 counter. Exciting. Yeah, bell combo. They'll put the non-foil on the boots. Yeah, it's 11k 11k hand encore if you're total level 3 experience, and then experience 7, not even 6, 7.
7. 3 stats.
So you have to be level 3. It gets to have pay 3 restand on its combo. Fumio, just vanilla ditch. This is the Miyu. This isn't even Itsuki. This is Miyu from friggin' Prismalia, where it does nothing else but do this. Yeah. It has no power.
I'll be honest. I don't even recognize half of these cards. All I remember is the
well, I know some of these cards. Like I know this card.
I CX Swapper, the drop search. What, you fucking know this card?
I do because my local plays this card. It is it's Finn.
Finn?
Yeah, Finn.
Finn? Thorfinn?
Yeah. So he has clock 2 Familia, and then to the bottom of your clock, and then you heal them off at the end of your turn.
That card.
It just fixes color for you. That's like all it does. Literally all it does is it fixes color.
I see.
Leo, this is your climax swapper. This is that one chaser people play. This is a ditch 2 anti-change counter. Didn't know they had that. Now I know. This is a Rico.
Yeah, they love one Rico.
Oh no, it's like the silica. It's a 1/0 version of the level 0 seal. This level 0 silica. It checks for the stupid bell. It checks for this card.
Oh,
X is equal to this card in waiting room.
Card. It's fucking.
This gives honor versus bottom deck to something.
Utari, let's go.
Yeah, this gives honor versus bottom deck to something. This girl, the Chigusa. I don't know what this card does. Coin flip. It's a coin flip. Disgusting. Yeah, this deck. I don't know how this deck topped. Congrats to them though. But
dude, Space Cowboy has just had the power bank.
Space Cowboy's team was, what was it? It was him on his Konosuba deck. It was this, and it was the Guilty Gear deck. No, the Guilty Gear deck we're gonna talk about. Wow.
Dude, they actually just had the power of waifu and anime.
Yeah, that was crazy. But good for them. It doesn't make Danmachi good, and this is specifically Door Pants because nobody asked about that deck. Door Pants, hot garbage.
Yeah, I remember when I asked about this.
Yeah. Also hot garbage. Dal, this deck's not good. Please stop playing this deck.
When will Kermie get unbanned?
Literally, I'm surprised with how Simu was trying to talk about it and stuff, and people in the the competitive Weiss Discord were talking about it, that nobody just put 8 book on your thingy. I don't know if you had it on there. I'm assuming you did, and people just didn't pick it.
I did.
Like, 8 book is a million times more redeeming deck, and that's still just a vanilla 1k1 deck at the end of the day.
Let me see. What did it get rated? Day alive. It was the second most. It was
how much percent? Like 40%? 35%?
38.
38. I probably would have given it to it, but whatever. Understandable. But yeah, I think that 8 book is cool. I'll just talk about it real quick. I think that deck is pretty cool. It has good tech zeros it gets to play. It gets to play a lot of really strong cards. Perfectly competent 8 1k1 deck because it can also plus from the back row without reverses. Toka combo, the top end is like perfectly fine. Nothing crazy, mind you. I think it's just a good deck.
It's pretty vanilla in the end.
Yeah, it's an 8 1k1 deck, but it's a good 8 1k1 deck with good cards in it. Like the double drop search origami, I think the card's still broken. Unattack double drop.
I mean, I think at best it would still be like tier 3 at best.
I'd put it tier 3 or like bottom of tier 2. I think that deck is actually like pretty competent.
Oh,
yeah,
you think it's
high tier 3?
I think it's in the same level as like Benjamin ELT. Those are like the good.
No,
okay,
it's better. It's better than
decks.
these. It's definitely better than these decks by like a good margin because I think the
No
quality
way.
of the cards it has is still Dow.
There's no way.
Can we talk about bar pants? If you mean pants bar, I can talk about it a little bit, but I don't think that deck is very good if I'm gonna be honest with you. But yeah, we can talk about it a little bit. Yeah, this deck bad. 8 standby has no merit. It's just a power deck, just plain, if you want to play a power level 0, a power standby deck. Now we can talk about Guilty Gear. Let me pull this deck up real quick.
Guilty Gear, standby bar deck.
Yeah, this is a deck that I have played a lot. Oh, and I use the standby bar deck from Houston. Let's see if their deck was any. Let's see how I like their deck real quick. Let's give a quick skim. This is also the Space Cowboy deck, actually. Okay, this stuff is a little zealous. We're just gonna go there. It's my stream. We're gonna use the deck that I want to use. Guilty
Damn it,
Gear.
I should have streamed. Why am I letting this anarchy happening?
So true, bestie. So true. Okay. I gotta move this over. You said right because it's that. There we go. So standby bar. Pretty normal deck, I think. Thank you, Mr. Yuri Prime, for 35 months. Appreciate you. Crop, please. What do you mean, crop, please? Can't crop it any better, bro. It's. I'm at the whims of fate. I can't. I'm not adjusting this more. It's too much effort. You don't need to read this card fully. All right. There we go. There you go. You can read most of it now. All right.
Okay.
So this deck is very simple. I think in the way it chooses to play, it is a deck that just wants to slam 2 standbys a game, 1 at level 1, 1 at level 2, and if it gets any more, that's pretty cool. You have Ramethal. This sets up your memory for you for free by just playing climaxes, and it puts.
Wait, what'd you say? How do you pronounce her name?
Ramethal?
Ramlethal.
Not Ram
You know-
Lethal.
I've been pronouncing it Ramlethal this whole time.
Yeah, Ramethal. Yeah, this card is actually like a really broken early play. Like, I want to be straight up. I think this card's like insane. That it just puts free cards in memory for you, regardless.
Wait, you said early play? I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, early play. Oh my god, brainstorm. Sorry.
Brainstorm.
Yeah, your brainstorm. Broken brainstorm. Yeah. So it puts this card, which is a core part of your combo, or itself, so it can just remove extra copies of itself if it's not relevant. Or you said
What's
you
this
put this card.
G1 possessing ray? Never seen that card.
It is a clock bomb that sends itself to memory when it dies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So before this, I had the coin flip. There was a coin flip that's on play. You could put anything from your waiting room into memory. This card just ends up being better. It's a bomb. It's free memory. It removes itself from the game. It's nice to have. This card is a broken helmet. It's a clock filter from hand. So you add one and then clock one from your hand. I think that effect is broken. And it is a helmet. So sack one, sack itself, ditch one, salvage.
Love helmets.
We love helmets. This is just a standard top chick 2 Ricky. You can play this. You can play the Axle. That's like the bell and the Eins, whatever. It doesn't really matter. This card's also broken. It's just on play, clock one from your hand, check 3, on play, on death. Hexproof Giver. This card just helps to give your cards power. You lack a lot of power at like 1 with like your Jacko combo and stuff, and it just helps you kind of get there when you play standbys. It also balances itself, and it's a pay 1+. That's nice. This card's broken. It's your Fuka. It's also a 3k level 1. If your opponent doesn't play 4 cards, and playing down 4 cards is really hard to play at your first turn of the game. And this is just a memory drops out. It sends itself to memory, and it's an on play or on reverse drop search. It's like, okay. Stock Charger. This is your combo. It's big. It gets a soul. So with like standby, it's really nice to attack with. And it has pay 2, drop 1, burn 3. We have Climax Swapper. This is the anti-overlord card. Pay 4, bounce. Pay 4, ditch 1.
You actually need to play 2. I need 2 is probably like.
I was playing 2 to make sure you have it, but it's a cozy card. It's like whatever. It's like.
No, but I'm telling you, the odds of you seeing Overlord is probably like.
I was also playing against. So when I was building this too, I was playing against Darcy a lot, and he was testing the Unideck, and this was just bullying like really hard. It's not that crazy. Like you can flex this, right? But like I like this card as a 2 of. I respect Overlord a lot. 0 events. Yes, this is 0 events. You can play the event. You can not play the event. I don't think it really matters too much. We'll talk about it though, all the same.
Jacko is a search combo. Play Testament or the event? I always think.
No. I definitely played both before this, but I was playing a more conservative list. So, but you can definitely make room for it real easily. It's like you can go like -1 Lucifero or like -1 Eno, go to one Testament, play like 2 events. Either there's a -3 soul event or there's the Restander event. Either one, both perfectly fine. They're both on colors too with green and red. So, yeah. But your goal here is just level 1. You stand by your Biken. This card's actually broken. I thought this card was really bad. This card's broken. For the sheer fact that it is a 9,500 hand on core.
That can convert to a card.
Yeah, it's so you can save this card every single time it dies, and you never feel bad about saving this card. Literally ever. I will hand on core this card into infinity as long as it can win on offense. Because anytime you save it, the second you realize you don't need it anymore, bottom deck it, salvage a different card, and just cash it out. It's super duper sick. I play 1 of her standby because sometimes it just comes up to be an extra attacker. And you don't really need 4 bars. The 4th bar is like kind of redundant. It's kind of like I was doing the Bochi thing too, where Bochi doesn't need the 4th bar. Testament's just an auxiliary, like extra burn at 1 to kind of help your Ramethal get some extra reach. You have a Fumio. Ramethal is just on attack, burn 1, and then her climax combo is just send 1 memory to summon 2 of this dude. So it's actually like really cheap. You can do this whole thing for like 4 stock. You get double burn 3, on attack, maybe burn 1 if you top check a character for 4 stock. So it's super duper cheap. So you can that's why you can spend extra stock. If you have like 6 stock, you get Testament. If you get more stock, you can potentially start doing the events and stuff too. Yeah. It's just like
Houston, I saw a good amount of.
Yeah, Guilty Gear is pretty popular, I think. Like I don't even see people selling this thing. Like I know people bought this and nobody's selling it, and that's how I know people like this set a lot. Somebody asked about Pants Bar. Pants Bar, pretty much the same foundation, I think. Like you're still probably playing Giovanna, you're still probably playing this card. You're just not playing Biken anymore, which I think like hurts your mid game a lot because Guilty Gear's mid game is non-existent. Ramethal also with standby gets to be a mid game. If you stand by this card at 2 and you cancel at 2, you can Ramethal at 2 and just do it, and it's cheap and it like pushes damage. Thank you, Mr. Reality is a Dream, for the follow. Appreciate you. Yeah, I think this card is this card itself is really good. If Guilty Gear just had like slightly better cards, I think this deck would be like insane. Yeah, I think this is also just high key one of the draws to stand by. Yeah, Kai, you play a Maguro combo, so you have better deck speed. You get more deck speed with Pants, and that's like really about all Pants offers you, I think. And Pants Bar also terrible CX lineup, like actually terrible. Anti-synergy, there's no good like CX supports in Guilty Gear to like make up for it either, and your back row is kind of cloggy. So yeah, not a big fan of that, but I would probably personally put Guilty Gear in tier 2. I think it's better than all these decks.
I barely play against Guilty Gear in my area.
I think Guilty Gear has
the one time I played against Guilty Gear in Houston, I just played Avatar and killed it.
Yeah, I mean Avatar is terrifying, but yeah, I think Guilty Gear is very strong. It's a deck that has like a really like high ceiling if it cancels at 2, but I don't think it's like the craziest deck in the world either. But it's neat, it's cool. It has a lot of variety. There's some other cool decks you can play with it too. Personally, I probably do this, but we'll leave it for later. Yeah, I think this deck is just so good. Anyhow, Grisaya, I love Grisaya, but we're not going to talk about Grisaya. I think this deck is shit tier. I don't even know how it got put on that list.
I'll talk about Grisaya in how many months? Like 3 months?
Yeah. When we'll talk about it when Phantom Trigger comes out and we do the set review. Because I have to buy that because it's Grisaya traded. But this deck right now, unplayable. Like, you can play so many other decks. You can play this and be playing this better. Like, this doesn't do anything. Literally nothing redeemable. You can play Cats, bro. Cats is a better 2 soul spam deck than this is.
Even the anti-heal is like not even good right now.
Yeah, it definitely is not. All right, Caligura.
Sure you can like stop Chainsaw Man from EP healing, but then they'll just both stock.
Yeah, I guess he
stocks up though.
Bro, Chainsaw Man plays like 1 healer a turn. I'm still in the camp that if Chainsaw Man's like early playing more than like 1 card a turn without being like in a significant lead, they're like kind of inting. Like I don't know. I think like Chainsaw Man's one of those decks where you have to really count your stock, and if you're healing past 7 stock and you end up taking damage, you're just gimping yourself really hard. So you always have to be like, I always try to play Chainsaw Man to float at 7, unless I know for a fact I'm not like going to 2 on the next turn or to 3. But maybe that's just the way I play. I don't know how much you've played Chainsaw Man itself, Kevin. So
no, I played no Chainsaw Man stuff. I just played against it a bunch.
Yeah, because I would like talk to my locals about this too. Like, because my local, he likes to heal with it, and I respect it. I don't think it's like wrong per se, but it's just not the way I view Chainsaw Man as like optimally being played. Because I think you if you're not at the like the 6-7 stock threshold to always be able to do all your stuff. Obviously, it depends on your hand too, but you're not like all of a sudden like Aki's like every Aki you do less is so much less scary because this card's not good top end. It's good in what it does and how all the cards work together, but the finisher is just a scam finisher. If you die to this card at 2, you got scammed, bro. Like, oh god.
I got scammed.
Yeah, you got scammed.
Unlucky. Unlucky.
If you're level 3 and you die to this card, yeah, it's probably reasonable. If you're like anywhere below like 2-5, I think dying to this card is like unreasonable. It's just like you just got like sacked.
I got
sorry,
sacked.
Kevin. Well, yeah, you died for what, 2-3?
I died at T3, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. That's absolutely getting sacked. 100%.
Single finisher.
Yeah. I mean, come on, Kevin. Shut the fuck
Man,
up. Is it a hot take
all
to
the
say
CXs on the bottom.
Chainsaw Man isn't that good? Yeah, I think it's a hot take. I think that's a player skill issue on the part of whoever's been playing CSM against you, to be honest. But
No, don't talk about down like that.
sorry. I'll say it to his face though. All right. Gura, are you a Kali Gura believer? Well, hang on. We'll talk about this deck first. I think this deck. I've said a lot of bad things about this deck, and that this is a scam deck. That being said, I'm still gonna put it here. I think standby pants is scam. It's way scammier than Kali Gura.
Caligura doesn't like consistently triple.
Yeah, so that's the thing, right? This deck high rolls you better, but this deck is also just not playing White Shores for better or for worse. You're not playing the game. I think people have proven with this deck and Overlord that people are bad at piloting this. People in the West, Europe, America, whatever, they hate the idea of conceding turns, and like they just can't wrap their head around like actively siding for zeros and passing turns. How many bans is English behind? Like one, like technically in this format, like one ban list. But
How many ban lists English behind?
yeah. Like technically,
Yeah,
like Nino isn't banned, Chainsaw Man isn't banned, Gura isn't banned.
Stay Alive is banned.
Yeah, and Overlord's not banned. But realistically, other than that, like this and like 3 of those things happen on the latest ban list, and then for Gura, this deck's not banned.
Gura's untouched in English.
Hololive. Does Hololive have a ban list in English?
It's IMA banned.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, so Hololive has no ban list in English. But yeah, this deck just never performed during the last like season, so it never got touched. They did announce that they were watching it because they were aware that it's like a problem. But yeah, I mean, this deck does triple. Gura does triple in 8 standby. It's in standby pants basically every single game. It's just a matter of how often you get there, or do you not, and if you can actually manage to kill them, right? Maybe I'd still probably put it here. I still think this deck is like super scammy, and I hate losing to this deck. At least when I lose to like this deck.
My only problem with Oski Gura is that there's a lot of people who tech like the hate for it. They'll
yeah, that's true. Like everybody's playing stunners and stuff too.
Stun it and stuff like that.
I would probably put it like this. I'd be more maybe inclined to put it like that. I don't think this deck is up here. Like if I'm being honest, I don't think this deck does anything special to be up there. I think this is just like the premier 8 1k1 deck to play. I think like to play like the most standard 1k1 game in Weiss Wars that you can play right now. This is the deck to do it. All this deck does is sit there, drool on itself, loop Kali over and over and over and over, float around the 6 to 8 stock threshold, look at your opponent and say, I will stock swap and Gura you. I will double Gura you. I will Gura plus whatever.
We're actually just going to put Chainsaw Man as the only tier 1.
Well, I have a deck that I think should be tier 1 personally, but, you know. Well, it might be, though.
Is this what we're setting it up for? Just a solo Chainsaw Man?
We'll see. We can pivot things around. But yeah, I just hate this deck. I think that, I mean, this deck is like the easiest deck to play. This deck is a lot harder to play in that, like, it's just not conventional for people. And they're both pretty strong. This will kill you more from like low 2. This, it probably wants its opponent to be like 2-4 or like 2-5, 2-4 probably the earliest. But this deck gets to play a better. This deck plays more like Avatar, which I like in that you play 0 to 2 like a normal deck, and you don't like throw yourself around, inting, like making like really weird plays. But this is my favorite Hololive deck though. I'm gonna put it here, personally.
Damn.
I you know I love 8 Stand by Hololive. I think
I
I've made it very clear that I love 8 Stand by Hololive. I think 8 Stand by Hololive, even with Chainsaw Man in the format, is an extremely well positioned deck.
It's, the only problem is the Chainsaw matchup is like not favored.
I think it's fine. I think it's like annoying.
Fine,
It's like
but then you lose
if
you lose a lot of strength of 8 standby,
bro,
which is
I mean you just
Luna attack
play
counter.
no, you just play Kanata. What do you mean? Oh, because the bouncing? Sure, they bounce your cards. Like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Dude, JP doesn't even have tap counter.
Yeah.
And this deck is still
and Chainsaw Man got hit.
and they still play it
What
though.
do you mean?
But they're still playing it. They're still playing the deck. It still
Chainsaw
exists
Man got
forever.
hit.
But it's still play. They're still playing Chainsaw Man with the bouncer and JP right now.
Yeah, but Chainsaw Man's not even played as much anymore.
It's still played a
Why
lot.
play
It's still played
Chainsaw
way
Man?
too much.
Why play Chainsaw Man when Pro Sekai exists?
True, and Pro Sekai reams this deck too. They have a bouncer too. They have a double bouncer too. Huh?
Really?
Yeah, they do. They have the 2-1 event that's a double bounce event.
Well, yeah, you play in a Chainsaw matchup. You pretty much have to hope your level 1 game.
Yeah, like
and give you enough advantage.
but you can farm a lot. This deck can't bomb you very well because you have 2-1 Kanata. Your board is really big. You're one of the only decks that can very easily scale Kishibe's if they slam triple because Polka is so big, and you get to throw power around a lot, which is pretty sick. Luna is an insane card. You have pretty good deck control. Your zeros are insane. You're really good at triggering standbys when you need standbys. Like this is still one of the premier decks for I want to trigger standby, and like you can set that up in main phase to trigger your standbys. Whereas like I think Nino's really good at it too, but Nino is still at the end of the day. It's like you maybe attack, you dig through like the top 7-8 cards of your deck during the attack phase, and you're just like, God, I please hope these cards were in the top 7-8 cards of my deck.
This is why I don't put Nino in the same tier.
Yeah.
Just because Ace Standby Hololive is just like a better Ace Standby deck right now.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I do think 8 Standby is just 8 Standby Hololive is just better because you have power at 1, power at 2. Kanata's a 2-1. It's such a freaking insane card, actually. And I was playing the Chainsaw Man 8 Standby Hololive matchup like quite a lot actually, the other weekend, and it was like that card was the single thing that was keeping him in the game. He was just Kanata 2-1 running his Luna around, running around the board, and like cause you can't always kill the 2-1 Kanata either. Like if you can't kill the other card, you can't kill that, and he's killing my Kishibe's, and like that deck, if anybody tells you they triple Kishibe every single game, they're actually capping. This deck like caps at double Kishibe like the majority of the games. And AK is not good enough versus this deck. This deck just runs over AK.
Yeah. Just one standby or one Pekka assist, or even just any power pump.
Yeah, like
Polka can.
No, even Polka. No, Polka doesn't even need power pump. She gives herself power.
Wait, isn't Polka just 7-5?
8-5.
Wait, she's 8-5?
She's 8-5 on attack. She's 7-5 by herself, and then 8-5 when she attacks. She gets 1k power with her combo.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so she can naturally scale double Kishibe with nothing else there, which I think is really funny.
Yeah, I always forget she has gains 1k.
Yeah, I learned that. But yeah, I think this deck is super well positioned. Personally, if I had to choose for my trios team, I would prefer to have one of these two than this on my team. But I would kind of almost lean to this if I knew the person on my team was comfortable with this deck, because I think this deck is really, really strong. And having a defensive counter, being one of 2 relevant decks in the format that have a defensive counter is really strong.
And it's a better deck. It's a better defensive counter of it.
Yes, it is. It is the one that can do it more consistently. Although I think Overlord has like an insane ability to use its tap counter too. But and in some ways it's even better at. In some ways it's better.
I don't know if you're talking about a slime 6+6 soul.
No.
I totally forgot about Overlord
Okay.
tap counter.
I have come around on the +6 soul. I'll talk about the +6 soul counter. Thanks to Blue Archive, I've come around on that card. But yeah, Overlord. These 2 decks are the 2 premier decks at using its tap counter. But yeah, I'd probably put it like this, or like this maybe. This deck definitely has way more performance, but this deck has a lot of tops actually. I think it's won 2 or 3 events now, right? Like not one, but it's it got first place in Houston and it got first place in Cali, right? No, it got what in Cali? 3rd?
Wait,
nope.
it didn't top Houston. Wait, did it top Houston?
It did top Houston. It was first place in Houston.
Houston was Avatar.
Yeah, Houston was Avatar, 8 Standby Hololive, and then Chainsaw Man. Oh, it got second in London with Polka Choco, which it's a different flavor of the deck. It's like the same shit. And then it got 8 standby got fifth place or got like 5 through 8th, and I think that was you, right, Johnny? That was the 8 standby Hall Live that got top 8. So yeah, congrats. But yeah, I think this deck is really good. It's still performing pretty well. Obviously, not as much as this deck, but I think this deck is significantly easier to play, and that's why I'll put this here over this. I think this deck is so easy to play, especially compared to this. Like, of the three, I think ease of use should be considered on a tier list when like you're
All,
talking about like things in the same
all I know
vein.
about Caligura is I
But
watched the world champion scam my
oh my
teammate.
god, don't even.
Oh,
Oh,
he
you want
he,
Steven? Gay?
I just watched. He survived triple Aki from 3-2.
Damn, bro, he's built different. Aki sucks. I told you.
Yeah, dude.
Icy
I
tail
was like,
ball.
Dan, oh shit. I was like, Dan, oh shit, you lived double Gura, and he's 3-2, you can win. And then
Nope.
the next thing I look over, he lost. I was like, what the fuck happened?
Yeah, so Kanata I think Kanata Marine, Age of Kanata Marine is kind of done, right? For now. I think like there is one premier early play deck in the format, and it's not this deck. I think Kanata Marine is still really good. It's still a very safe deck. It's a comfy deck. If anybody chose to play this for an event, I would not look at them weird. I've played this deck a lot. Hall Life 2 obviously did a lot for this deck. You know, my local did win Houston singles with this deck. Granted, that was, you know, pre this format, so a different format. But that was with Alice and stuff, which was arguably a harder format for this deck to play in. It's fine. It's the same deck it's always been. So you're just playing Marine in the end of the day, though. Yeah, pretty much. I think there's just these decks just do better things than this deck does right now. This deck, do you like 8-door? Have you played 8-door?
I am not.
Like,
I've seen it. It seems like a good 1K1 deck. I would not. I
I
probably
would.
wouldn't put it 1.5. I probably
It's
put it top of 2.
yeah, maybe I would
It's like
probably
it's like
agree.
a, it's like a pretty good 1K1 deck that
If
can generate a lot of resources.
if Overlord was a popular deck, um, this deck would probably be a lot stronger because I think this deck is really good into Overlord because it plays the so average 8-door deck. I'm pretty sure you have it right. It has the Hato board nuke in it. I'm hoping
Oh, I don't know. It's whatever I put on the last
World
tier list.
X2. Let's see. Were they playing that card? Because I think you have to play that card personally. Uh
The board nuke.
Interesting. They were not. I think this deck has significantly less merit. I will show this deck, but I think this deck has a lot less merit without that card. So yeah, the English the reality of English is like there's a bunch of decks that are really good you can play, and there's the upper echelon of like the top like 5-6 decks that you really should play. So yeah, this person, the idea is that also playing 2 of this card is insane. Like, you know, good for them, but like sheesh.
They maxed out on just the Anya 2-1s.
Yeah, but like this card is the card you need for this, and they don't have that new card from the swimsuit set that makes this like actually brain dead because this card has to die.
Just die forehead.
Yeah. So the idea is that this card is on attack salvage, and it potentially gives you back a stock if you flip a 1 or higher. If you on attack reveal the plus from your hand, which is like the resonate target. So you just pretend this card doesn't exist because this combo sucks, but it makes this card. This card is super OP, so this card's really good. And it's 8K for no reason. Then you play it into Marine because all roads lead to Marine when you don't know what to do. Anya is just a door searcher, so it helps you loop combo. It has no backups. It's really hard to. It just kills like literally anything it wants to, pretty much, which is pretty sick. And then it just plays, you know, Hall Live good stuff zeros. Like nothing's there special there. This card's also broken because it spawns level 1 or lower or cost 0 or lower for no reason. Don't understand that card. And you know, stock swap, whatever. Deck's cheap. You can stock swap people burn with Marines. If you want to play A1K1 Hall Live, this is another flavor to do it. I think the way you want to play this personally is with the Hato board nuke because it just helps beat out board based decks. But again, if you don't see things like Overlord, that has less merit. So maybe that deck from Worlds was a good read because they said there's going to be no Overlord. Why would I bother wiping boards? There was no Chainsaw Man at Worlds, obviously. So like, what was the point? To shoot Gura, you can just stun Gura with the stupid Hato, so it doesn't matter. But yeah. This deck also gets a really big buff in the swimsuit suits collection. I don't know if we got that announced in English. I don't think we do. But Kaguya, I love this deck, but this deck is like a tier 3 deck, maybe even tier 4. I'll put it like here.
I think still okay.
It's fine.
It's level 0 stock swap. The level 0 combo is still pretty nuts.
Yeah, I
Probably
mean,
the best level 0 combo.
I love this level 0 combo. I really, really
Besides
do.
Himeno
Yeah, this is one of the strongest level 0 combos
and
for sure. Chica, it's unfortunate this deck has to play Chica because like you can't really play this deck super duper well with the current English ban list. JP 8-door with this, I think is like a
Yeah, you can play 8-door.
Yeah, and JP you can play 8-door more realistically, and it's really strong. I think that deck's actually like pretty like a lot better in Japanese. And I might even respect it a little bit more in the English format and put it like a tier 2 deck if we had 8-door. But the choice just isn't that good. It's really awkward. It has some weird clunk to it. Also, Kishibe's existing kind of makes this deck level 1 a little bit more awkward to plus with.
It had a small stint back when Alice was around.
It was yeah, because it was the read,
like,
right? Because you had the anti level 2.
You can play 4 level anti level 2s no problem.
Yeah, it was a really strong read then. I know both Don't Sing Connor topped with it.
The utility ones are not as good.
Yep.
If it's not especially like that, you don't have like a stock charger or like a Himeno like combo.
Yeah. This deck this set being on the ban list is still so controversial too. Like it literally didn't get to do anything. It was like a super like I'm pretty sure that this deck getting hit was why English is on this whole like we want to be super conservative with our ban list because they just went and hit Kaguya for no reason and everybody flamed them. Like yes, this deck was like poised to be the best deck in the format.
Was it like the stock charger or was it like?
Do you even need another? Do you even need a stock charger when your combo's a stock charger?
Yeah, I guess the thing is you don't really need stock charger when your combo's stocking. What you actually want, which is like a Yuka or a Himeno.
Oh, it's that card, right? You have to play the sword event. That card's bad.
Oh. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. But yeah, I mean Kaguya's still fine though. I like Kaguya a lot. I own it all because I like Kaguya as a series a lot. But all right, like a Reco, this set comes out Friday.
Well, it actually comes out this. Oh yeah,
yeah.
I was literally sitting in Strictly Broken on Monday, watching them open.
So I know you think this is mid. I'm gonna put it at the very bottom of tier 2. If only because. No, I mean tier 2.
What's our tier 2 2.5, dude? What the fuck?
No. You go back down there. You go back down. Sure.
Oh, I was actually just joking.
Yeah, we get it.
All right, we got tier 2.5 now. Let's go.
You know what we're gonna do? We're just gonna go.
Tier 2. Let's go. Nico's with me. I'm pretty sure Mr. Carmen will be with me. Surely. What the fuck? This guy's fucking just jamming shit.
There we go.
What the fuck did I just witness?
There we go.
Massacre. Oh shit, my man actually put Quince in fucking tier 3. Shit.
Okay, anyhow.
What the fuck? This guy didn't even consult me. My man just fucking just turned this tier list on his head.
I moved them all down because you kept saying these decks are mid. So we'll make them mid.
Dude, they're in the middle. Still.
Yeah. The bottom middle, right? It's like having a tier 2.5. It's like the same thing, but it looks nicer.
Okay. Yeah, but you're a tier from 1 for 5. My soul have a tier 2.5. Come on, man.
Shut up. No, because I think because like I said, I think the gap between these is pretty big, and the gap between these is really big. But I don't think this gap is actually that big. But it's like worth noting.
Wait,
Garbage tier
what?
Too high.
That doesn't make sense then. What the fuck? If you think that the in between tier 2 and tier 3 is not that big, it should be a 2.5. It should be a 0.5. Then there should be actual tier 2 for where 1.5 is.
Shut up,
bro. You're doing this tier list. Oh my.
You're so annoying. I don't want half numbers like that. I only wanted one half number to prove a point. No, fuck it. We're not doing this. Fuck you, Kevin. You're dumb. I don't care.
What?
Like a record too high, Carmen. You're just mean.
Like a record too high.
I think this is fine where it is.
Bro, I played the deck. I played like 5 games of the deck and did nothing and died.
I just like the top end for Lego Reco. I like the zeros for Lego Reco. Sure, we can put it here though. Whatever. Trying to be nice. But yeah, but I mean, I think Lego Reco is cool. Personally, I like the top end a lot. We never got Assault Lily here. It's Assault Lily at home. Your level 1 combos are both pretty fine. Either door with like the door brainstorm, the check the add-on brainstorm, or pants with like the yellow brainstorm. Both are fine. It's like it is definitely a nothing special deck, but I'd still play it over some of these other things personally. But maybe that's just because I like Lego Reco. Who knows? Not really worth spending too much time on this. It's a set. If you like Lego Reco, yeah, sure, you can own it. It's fun in its own way. But I would not compete with this deck.
Remember, Japan voted it as the worst set of 2023.
Yeah, there was a lot of good shit in 2023 though. To be fair, but
That was also a lot of bad shit in 2023 though.
KMD here. This deck actually did put up results. I think like this deck has the scam potential, right?
Did it? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did not find any example deck. Deck.
Did you not find an example deck? No, it definitely topped during one of the four, either trios or singles.
It topped Bro last year, but that's Bro.
Tokyo Avengers. Where is this fucking kimono? No, okay, you did not find a deck. You did just do example deck. Nice. All right, well, we could leave it there. I think it's probably fine. I think this deck is better than these things. Somehow.
Man, putting on the same level eats key. We live in a time.
Isn't this real stock swap? This has real stock swap, bro.
Does it? Yeah,
yes.
I don't fucking know what the fuck the deck
has. We'll do this.
All I know is it fucking bars into bar.
We'll do this. There you go.
All I know is I cancel the 1, eat the 4.
That's
what the deck does.
But yeah, this deck has real stock swap, and its stock swap event is actually pretty good. It definitely like it feels pretty bad to lose to though, because you're just like, oh, cool, your ping 1 cancels, and I just take a 4 swing, burn 1 4 swing 4. And you're like, I see. That's all you have. That's all this deck has. Actually, it's level 3 is like all this deck actually has, and the fact that it just slams bars every turn. But maybe it's here. Not there.
All right, folks. I'll argue for a change of tier list. Right now, I don't care. We'll fix the tier list.
Yeah, we'll fix it later. This is just me throwing shit on the thing, and Kevin's not saying anything about it, so I'm gonna keep doing it. All right, thoughts. Everybody else is just bad. I swear to God. Everybody that says Overlord is bad is just bad. But
tier 1.
This isn't even my hot take,
bro. Okay,
look,
bro.
If I want to read on the player skill, I'll put it here. Overlord is not banned yet. No, Overlord is completely unbanned. I do think the average player that plays this deck. Thank you, Mr. Philip Tran, for the follow.
It is pretty hard.
Legitimately,
it's not hard to get Irons online, but it's hard to put yourself in a state where you don't instantly die after the Irons.
Okay. Like right in my world, right in Jason world, it's like this. This is how it should be.
In Jason world,
Overlord is up here because I think this is one of the best decks in the entire game. I think this deck is broken. I think Ainz is broken. I think everything about what this card does is fucking disgusting. The fact that this card has no commitment needed to itself. The fact that it can literally have a turn at 12 hand and then just do things is fucking ridiculous. I would at least minimum put it like this personally, but I respect that this deck, while also being hard to play, is easier to play than Overlord. And so I will concede that. Also, this deck has had like no tops because people are bad.
It literally won Houston though.
It did.
Both
yeah. Right. I'm not gonna be. No, it didn't win Houston. It got second in Houston. It got second and it got 5th. And the guy that got 5th was actually one of my locals who was playing my exact 50 cards from BCS New York.
Look at this guy.
Yeah. He messaged me about it too. I looked at it, I was like, oh, this is my list. And then he messaged me, he's like, I stole your list and I brought it to Houston. I was like, oh, Pog.
My man's literally jacking himself off.
Yeah, a little bit. Although I don't play the list anymore. I have the cock in it now.
Oh, I'm gonna show you a cock.
Oh baby. But yeah, I don't really love the list from Houston. I think that list was kind of weird and really greedy. But top to top, that's all that matters. Although if you look at that list, I feel like people would, that's the kind of one of the list people like, how did this do well? I don't understand.
You play two Sheltier 1-0s, three changers, so they can fit in the clean cut.
Yeah, I'll show the list from Houston. Like, I don't understand this list. So, just to preface, the list that my local stole was this list, which I think is a very conventional. This is nothing special, mind you. This is like the JP special. This is how they played Overlord when they played level 1 combos. 4 level 1 combo, you played 3 of the Maid because the Maid is broken. Obviously 4 Ions, 1 Fumio for decompression, 4 of your package, 4 of your Ions changer, 5 event, 2 Climax Swapper because Climax Swapping is OP. Fuka was like the card they played then. I've pivoted off Fuka now till I have like 1 of it. And then it was a 3-1 split of the Search Brainstorm, the tap 2. This card's actually like insane. And then 1 of the tap Salvage Brainstorm. Also really important for the mirror, and that's why they played this card. And back then I expected a lot more Overlord, and there was definitely a lot of Overlord in BCS. There was a lot of Overlord in Swiss, and it came up a lot actually.
Only way to salvage stuff.
Yes, it's only your only way to salvage stuff, so I probably still wouldn't cut it. But now compared to this was the Houston list where they played 2 total Brainstorms. Oh no, 2-1. That's actually how I play it now, which is fine. 2 of this Drop Search. This card's like actually like pretty fine, I think. No real problem with that. My problem comes from they're on 2 of the Bride and 2 of the Shaltir and then 3 of the Bride, which is like super inconsistent.
So they can fit triple clean cut.
Yeah, but they're also only on 3 of this, which is crazy. You need this card. If you don't see this card, you're not having a game, which I think is like insane.
Well, I guess their idea is that you get double plussing level 1.
Also, this card, like clean cut's cool.
Total 6 plus in level 0.
Yeah, but this card's cool. But why play that card when you can play? Do I have it on here?
The cock.
No, I don't have it here. Well, we're just gonna do this. This is the way I search for every card in this game. I just go to Builder.
I'm not a big fan of the Builder.
This card.
The fact that the Builder is fucking not images.
That's sad. Yeah, this card is broken. This card is a card I looked at. I remember when the set came out. I was like, yeah, this card's pretty good. No, this card's insane, especially right now. Being a 4K, it's 2500 always. And then during your opponent's turn, if you have another dude, which is really easy to have in Overlord, you just send like a bomb or whatever to the back row. It's a 4K, and it chases, so it's really hard to out for a lot of decks. I've noticed in like the casual environment, it gets a lot of people to play again around this card wrong, where they'll be like so focused on denying Overlord's plus, they'll attack you with like 1 dude to like a bomb or something, kill the card, and then you'll be like, damn, bro, that's crazy. Here's my Overlord Tri-Field for free because I get to stay at 0 for a free turn. And if Overlord stays at 0 for a turn, that's like actually kind of OP for that deck.
Yo, but what if Chance of Man just feels triple bomb?
Yeah, then they have it. Good for them. Yeah, like then they have it, but which is fine. Like we play accepting that's just gonna be like a thing that happens, I guess. But yeah, I think Overlord is really strong. I've been saying it for forever. If you see me on any socials or anything, I play it a lot. I talk about it a lot because people hate it, and I don't understand. I think people just play bad.
Put his money where his mouth is.
I really hope really well. I'm playing that for Toronto 100% of the time. I am playing it for Jersey maybe. If what is it? I'm playing it for Jersey maybe if my local teammate wants to play Chainsaw Man, I'll concede it because I like Overlord that much. And then if Chainsaw Man's banned, I'll be playing this for singles if it's not banned. So, but I am too much of a sweatlord to not play Chainsaw Man if the chance is given to me. But yeah, I think this deck is broken. I think this deck is held back by pilots. Blowing up boards is strong. What's really strong about this deck though is that they're hexproof. They're hard to deny. So Avatar has a hard time killing these cards if you sculpt properly because you feel double plus 1/1 and they can't kill them. You always have tap counter, so Chainsaw Man can't like double bounce you to deny tap counter. And your tap counter basically is what's the way to put it? It's commitmentless. You just play your cards. You attack your opponent. You look, can I kill you? If you say no, you hold 5 stock for tap counter on the next turn. And if you can kill them, yeah, you go for the reach for it. And that's the decision you have to make. But yeah, I think most people just are bad with like managing the resources of their clock and their stock for tap counter and whatever. And that's why the deck is performing a lot worse than it is. But it did just win. It made 2 tops in the most recent event, so that made me happy.
I'm happy.
Yeah, I'll concede it here. I'm sorry, Mr. Space Cowboy. I'm glad to see you're here now, but you knew this was coming. We'll put it here for you.
We knew. You all know. It's the power of your love for darkness rather than the power of the deck itself.
Yeah, this is a pilot diff, not a deck diff. Unfortunately, he is the strongest darkness guy, and he has shown that he is so.
But I would not respect anyone else who plays.
Yeah. If it's not specifically this man, I'm not respecting it. But
rigged votes, true.
Not much to say.
Both me and Jason's votes rigged.
Bottom of A tier. Garbage has an A in it. Bottom of tier 4. We'll see. Maybe I'll give you the bottom. Maybe I'll give you the homie. Give us a sub, and I'll give you the bottom of tier 4.
Give us a sub. What the fuck? What was this man saying?
All right, Mushoku. I want to put this in garbage.
Yo, it's better than Rico Rico. It's unbanned.
Yeah.
It
is unbanned. You're right. All right. I'm down. Still terrible right now. A5 is not a good enough amount of power. But when this can die to like Hollow Eye for free, and this dies to Takeshi base for free, that's a problem.
What the fuck was that noise?
My man, shit. All right. You got it. Sure. I'm paid.
What the fuck? My man actually paid.
Somebody did it? Alright, I respect it. I'm a man of my word.
He's a man of his word.
If Day 9 can do it, I can do it. If he can get bribes for card ratings, I can get paid for tier list ratings. Perfectly fine.
Human did pay us off, but
he did.
What
Dave became God.
Yeah, he fucking paid us off to put Dave DBG higher.
That was good. Hey bro, that 40 pixels, this is getting posted on Twitter. That's a statement. But now 8-bar Sal. Yo, all right, Johnny. I'm sorry. Even if you do that, I can't put up 8 Standby Hollow Life to tier 1. That's not a thing I can do. Move back down. Sheesh.
We're gonna do it back down. I meant stop to move it back down.
We'll figure it out. I respect it. But Sao though.
Sao is also another pet tier deck. I would not expect anyone besides Darcy.
Like here? Or do you think it's like at least like a bottom of tier 4 pet deck?
Dude, you don't have the light novel stuff. My man's literally just
okay. To be fair, right? When I was playing with Darcy playing it, it didn't actually look that bad. Like genuinely as just a raw deck, it looked perfectly fine.
It's probably better.
I would actually dead ass. I'd play it over AOT. 100%. I'd play this deck over AOT. Can I sub to get it to go above darkness? It's already going above darkness. But
what do you mean go above darkness?
Like Sao. He likes Sao. Yeah.
Okay, Sao can be above AOT. I'll give you that.
Yeah, like I think this deck has merit. It slams triple. It's like Sora, right? If Sora was here, Sora would be higher. Honestly, I'd probably put Sora in like here or like here, like here. But we don't have Sora on here, so but we have this deck.
Reasons. Yo, Sora sucks though. It fucking loses to Guilty Gear and
so true
and Slime.
All right, now. Escanor and Hendy's Tendies. This is a controversial topic. I will concede right now.
Hendy's.
I think Escanor is really bad right now. I will still put it in tier 2. It's probably still like here. I think.
Hendy's definitely better.
Henderson is definitely better.
But Hendy from I played.
I hate this deck.
I play a shit ton of Hendy and Avatar, and there's a clear difference between Avatar and SDS.
This deck, I will put it here. This deck is a scam deck. You are trying to play Konosuba in 2024, and that is all you are doing. If anybody looks at you and tells you that they're not playing Konosuba, they're lying. That is all this is. This is stock swap Fumio burn 4. But you get a scry, so it's like a burn 5, quote unquote. It's the same thing. Like literally the same thing. You're slamming these cards, you're putting your opponent into a terrible deck and being like, please die to my big number. It's so lame.
Sometimes they hit
Yeah,
the
you're better than
no.
Konosuba because you have better cards at every other level except for 2. Not that Konosuba had good 2s, but Aqua was really good for the time. Diane is Aqua, but it's not as good anymore. You're a lot of the time I feel like this deck wins off the merit of everything that STS does from 0 to 2.
Yeah,
and then Hendrickson scams you the wins where you need it, but most of the time your win is coming from that. Yeah,
the 0-1 line is like insane.
Like
STS is really good zeros.
You hit that
the level 1's good enough.
You hit that. You slam your stock soul. Your Meliodas 1-0 triggers a stock soul. You stick a 5 at 1, and you're like, damn, did I win? Just like that? That's crazy.
The only problem I see is that sometimes you play against Kishibe, you can't clear it.
Yes. Well, a lot of these decks can't clear Kishibe, right? This can't clear Kishibe. This can't clear Kishibe. Although this has its own Kishibe fields against this has its own problem. This can't clear Kishibe. It can bomb one of the Kishibes, but if you can triple to bomb one. But if they triple, right? If they triple Kishibe, you're still not winning with a bomb.
Yeah, but
double. We accept the double. This can clear double. This can't clear. This can clear double technically.
Every time I played against SDS with Avatar,
this deck cannot clear double. Escanor. No, it has to rely on the Escanor level 0. It has to play the Escanor level 0 and it has to rely on that card being active in that moment. And then you can kill it.
Oh yeah, it does the stock bomb. Yeah.
Yes. That is your out to that deck, which is I will respect the fact that this deck can mainboard 4 Escanors and not think anything about it because Hendrickson is a lot more deck light than Escanor, which is super sick. Because I know people in Escanor are playing that card, but I think Hendrickson plays that card better, which is super sick for your chance on my matchup, and I'll give it a +1 on that. But I don't like this deck very much. I think this deck is super uninteresting, and I don't feel good losing to this deck ever. So, but it is still definitely a good enough deck. It has the results. It's definitely here. I'd even probably put it here, honestly. Like, this deck is so easy to play, too.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
It requires, of these, it's probably the second easiest deck to play on this tier, besides this deck. But this deck scams more than this deck. Saikano. Sorry, Kevin.
Disparage.
You know,
hello, darkness,
is this worse?
Friend.
Is this worse than AOT? Yeah, it probably is worse than AOT. This came out way too late. Maybe with Fine, right? Maybe with Fine it goes like here. But do you want to say anything about? You want to say any final words about Saikano and why it sucks? Or can we just move on?
Give me a second.
1.
Okay, give me more seconds.
Are you trying to formulate something? As he just said 3, okay, I'm gonna be real. It doesn't help very much. As somebody that has played Saikano Set 3 quite a bit when it came out, the problem is Saikano right now is unbanned. And it's this bad. Do you know what Fine adds to this deck? It adds the check 3 Chiori that goes to memory. That is what that deck adds. That's what that adds. All right. That's fair. But yeah, like Fine adds like the Chiori, which mind you, that Chiori is a really good card. Really, really good card. That was super huge for that deck. But when the deck already has all its best memory cards, it's so hard to fit that card in. Like, it's probably gonna be like maybe a 2 of. I don't even know if you can play 4 of that card. Like, you have all the best memory cards.
You can play 8 door with Fine.
You can. I don't like the door combo very much though. But maybe that's something you'd have to do.
Okay, if people didn't know, I just subbed and to put Saikano above Darkness.
Look, I'm bribable. Like I told you guys, I'm bribable. 1 sub, yeah, bro, you got it. I'll move your shitty decks up a little bit.
Fuck yeah.
All right, Spy Family. This is probably the top of tier 2. I think this is the best tier 2 deck you can be playing. Where's your bribe? Johnny, I can't go against that bribe and put it down. You can move something else.
You can move stuff up. You can't move stuff down with bribes. That's the rules now.
Kevin said it. There it is. Since you work for the channel, you just donated money to Twitch. Yeah, whatever.
True, but
He did it for the he
but
did it for the
I did it
message.
memes.
Yeah. Yeah, this deck really good. You have to have played against Spy, right? Surely your locals own Spy. This set is so popular. Right?
Wrong.
Wrong?
Wrong. I've never played a single game against
Oh my god, bro. So many people I know bought Spy. I see
Dude,
Spy
I know
all the time.
no one in my locals bought
That's
Spy.
insane. I think like a half my locals bought Spy.
I know a lot of people bought Chainsaw Man, and almost no
It's
one
the
bought
opposite.
Spy.
It's literally the opposite.
Spy.
There are I think there are 3 of us at my locals that own Chainsaw Man. And there are like 7 or 8 people that own Spy Family.
I'm good, bro.
Yeah, and
No,
one of
not-
those
not
people,
everyone is,
and 2 of them own basically own both.
I don't know. Just thinking my community, Spike's family is
That's crazy. I mean, look,
not proper IP.
I think this deck is really good. For what it is, if in the world, right? Because this spoiler to me, this is like what's best. All right, you got my hot take now. But in the world where they hit these things and this thing, this is probably one of the best decks in the format. Unironically, because this level 1 is so broken. I mean, if Gurus gets hit, if Ainz gets banned, if Sokka gets removed, if Aki, I mean, okay, unironically, in that world, banned Chainsaw Man is still probably one of the best decks in the game. If they just poured the JP ban list, I think that deck is still one of the best decks.
There's Aki to 2 and ban.
Yeah, Aki to 2, and then it's Brainstorm Bonder. I still think this is one of the top tier decks. This becomes a top tier deck.
Chainsaw Man is not known for his. It's not good for his finish. It's good for everything else.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why this still becomes a top tier deck. This is probably a top tier deck. Depending how they ban SDS, Esconar might be a top tier deck again. This is a top tier deck, and I think this is a top tier deck. Not like top tier. Like it's probably like the worst of them, but I think it is a really good. Also, like the Quince decks all go up off that as well. I just think this deck, Fiona is a really good card. That is where this lies. It is everything is full send on Fiona. What just happened? What?
Okay. Reality is a dream. What do you wish to move up?
I think he got what he wanted for Spy. He got what he wanted. Move Caligura up. We're not moving Caligura up. We're not moving up top tiers. That card.
Hey,
that thing stays where it stays.
Caligura can go above Overlord.
No, absolutely not. That is not a bribe. I will take.
What the
I'll remember this. I'll remember this
sorry,
if we
man.
move things
all
around.
Deals are final. We do not allow refunds.
That's not happening, and he knows that's not happening. He just hates Overlord. I will not respect this. Yeah, bribe. You can fight for the bottoms. You got this here. You asked for this to be above this. You got it.
Okay.
All right. Anyhow, this. So where were we? What was I talking about? Spy. Yes, Fiona. Insane card, right? This card is a defensive card that scams cancels. If the Anya Brainstorm is actually like a pretty broken Brainstorm, I think, right? On change, gives Fiona's an extra 1k power. So it makes this card like 7-5, potentially 8-5 defensive with the other side. It lets it attack really big if it lives. This deck is just like a scam deck at like 1. And then whether you play Anya or you play the Pants, I don't think it matters that much. It's just you prefer to have like a really strong top end, I guess. Do you want a stronger top end or do you want a better mid game? Because Anya offers you a better mid game, Pants offers you a better top end, which is for better or for worse, one way or the other.
It wasn't just burn.
It's burn 1. It's burn 3, and if you cancel, burn 1.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. But it's extra damage, which is the big thing, right? All the same, it is more points of damage.
Okay. But you know why Prosecco went off of the twice finisher? That's literally the same thing.
Yeah, right. No, it's not. Emu
isn't that just burn 3?
No,
burn
it's
1
on. No. The choice finisher was cancel burn 3. If it cancels, burn 3 again.
Oh.
It's cancel. It's like the Asuna from Dengeki where it's on cancel. Okay, cancel burn again. So it's not the same.
Okay, it's not the same.
Yeah, I do think CSM level 1 is really hard to beat over for a lot of decks. The same way Kishibe is. Yeah, you can like bomb it, but That's fine.
Okay, but the thing is,
But
I feel like
that is also why. That's also a
if
problem.
Spy get if in a stream where everything gets hit,
Yeah.
then does Hollow Ace Standby Hollow just not become best deck?
No, I
And
said
then
this is
and
like the
then
best
and
deck in the
then
game.
and then the Spy would
Well, Spy
not be
can
able to compete.
counter. Spy can potentially counter over the Polka still, or still play through it. Like this deck still takes some time to set up sometimes. Where like I think like I think this becomes like tier 1 in that world. I do. It's probably be like
Okay,
a
that's probably for
like
the
this,
world.
but in that world that's never happening. But yes, it is really good at looping this card as well. That is definitely true. It can get this back because the helmet's really strong. And this card can actually attack at powers to like beat over polkas too. If you try to like stand by polkas, like you can't always guarantee that they'll live. Good, it's just a good card overall, honestly. Like Fiona is the crutch, is the core of this deck, and everything else is just around it. It's good though. I would play this over these things. Yes, over all of these things, I would play this. To be honest.
Sure.
TRV. No.
Probably play content in a bit.
No, like this deck's bad. Oh, is it? No, it's not worse than Darkness. It's like.
Yo, can we put Mushoku into tier 3? Tier 3 is looking kind of lonely there.
There you go. TBH. I'll put TRV like here. I think. I don't know how much we have to actually talk about this deck. Like, you're not gonna see this deck. It has like the.
Wait. Dan literally saw it.
Really?
Yeah, that was pretty funny. Dan saw it.
Did he kill it? Please tell me he won.
He did kill it.
Yeah,
he did win.
Fucking god.
She was out of a lot of CXs, but then it didn't matter because he just wood laned and didn't push damage.
Yeah, like if you're inept at playing this deck, you have a real problem. If you just try to rely on dual lanes forever and you don't acknowledge certain like points, it's a problem. I think this deck can be hard to play well because you have to make certain decision points. You're an all-in coin flip deck like this and like this. Although you're a lot worse at doing it because it's really expensive. You do probably win the game if you get it though, surely. Haha. It's just not worth playing this. There's so many better top ends than this card. When this was like first like pushed around, it was really good in that moment. But not when there's shit like Gura and there's shit like Ainz and there's Azula. Why are you playing this, dude? Just come on.
Why play Tokyo Avengers? Well, Avatar does what
you can't even win on offense anymore, dude. Like before it was like, oh, my dual laners are actually pretty big, so they could like survive. No, they're not surviving. These things are cooked. Like this kills it. This kills it. This can kill it if you put in the center. This can potentially kill them. This can kill them. Like this will kill them. Like,
yeah, but you have the 2/5 counter.
Oh my god, my 2/5 counter. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, people playing 2/5 counters back in day too.
All right.
Just play this still now. I think if you ever talk about Tokyo Avengers though, you have to talk about the Pachin build though.
I hate this deck so much. I think this deck is so bad.
I think Slime is still pretty good.
I think Slime is a hexproof, and that's all it is.
Hexproof 2/1.
Oh, do we have Fine? Do we have Fine?
Huh?
We have Fine. All right, you get this. Here you go, Kevin.
Augers! Let's go!
You have Fine.
It's higher!
Tier 3? Absolutely not.
Pay money for this.
Where would I put Slime?
Personally, for this Jason tier list.
Yeah, pretty much. Well,
you're
gonna help me. You're gonna be my arbiter afterward, arbitrator. So if we're gonna just show how Jason would rate this card, it's like here. No, I think this deck is better than 8 standby, if only because if it hits the board, it wins the game. Like I will concede. So my main gripe with Slime, it is not better than Overlord. You shut your mouth.
It's better than Overlord.
It is not. This deck, so my problem, it does not even win against Overlord. Like, actually. Right? So my problem with Slime, and this is the hot take that I've been holding, and I've been saying this shit for forever.
Avatar so fucking smooge.
Yeah, like legitimately, I think like the best matchup Slime has is actually Avatar, not Overlord. But so my issue with Slime is the main deck for Slime is Standby Pants.
I think Standby Pants is bad though.
Standby Pants is not terrible compared to like other things you can play in Slime. My problem with Standby Pants is like ceiling to the max, floor to the fucking ground. it is so volatile with how it plays. If you miss standby for a turn, your game sucks. Like if you miss your turn 1 standby, like level 1, you suck. Like your deck sucks. You're playing 5500 level 1 like with like vanillas and zeros. If you hit your standby, cool, you have 7-5 level 1 combos that trigger. If you sack into another standby and get a Muron, you're doing pretty good. You have a single Muron on your board that's big. If you sack 2 standbys, you've won the game. You like on the spot, I will say if you play standby, trigger 2 standbys, you probably just win the game on the spot. No matter what happens. It's like almost impossible to lose unless you just get really unlucky and you like triple trigger pants like Kevin does.
Well, shut the fuck up. What the fuck? How to say
yeah.
that?
But I really don't like that deck. I don't think that approach of deck is very interesting.
This is not standby pants. This is
so now in the world of 1K 1K1 slime where you either play, I don't think it matters too much if you play 8 pants or you play door pants. Personally, I would prefer to play 8 pants with the level 0 combo. I don't think it's notably better, but it's better selection, which means more Murons more consistently at 2, kind of like old slime did. Door pants is really good in Swiss. Door pants will just dunk on people in Swiss really, really hard because they don't know how to play it. Thank you, Mr. Otaku Mage Ubu, for the follow. You get to just dunk on people in Swiss because they will not think. They will play their favorite back rows to the board the second they hit 1, and you'll go, damn, that's crazy. Mill 'em, pop, grab your garbage, doesn't matter, filter it later. And then you win the game because that's how those Yuija combos always work. If your opponent plays into them, you win the game. If they don't play into them, you didn't do anything. Your deck doesn't do anything. Your top trick ad combo. Congrats. What's cool is Milim does have a bonder though, which is pretty neato. Yes, they don't have to play versus board level 1 combos exactly. So, but if you do, like that was an issue that Kevin's team came up against. Was suddenly the slime player who played door pants slime realized his opponents knew how to play against the deck, and then his deck didn't do anything anymore. And it just became, I have to hit my Murons to play the game, which also feels bad. And that's its own problem. Like personally, in my world, this is where slime, like 8 pants slime goes. If it's standby pants slime, it's like here. Unless it sacks, then it's like here. But like watching Worlds, I'm sorry, like watching those Worlds games was not very interesting. I think like it just felt like I was watching people high roll constantly watching those games.
You're talking shit with my man Ethan Cho.
I mean, I think Ethan was the best pilot of that deck at that event on stream.
True.
And that's why. But even then, he still did kind of high roll, but then he still died at the end because that's just how.
Wait, he won.
It worked. Did he win? I thought he died.
He died top 8 though. He died to the eventual world champion top 8.
I see. So yeah, so he won his game, but yeah, that what he did that game was still like fucking insane though. But
getting the double 2-1.
Yeah. When you get double 2-1, you're like you just win the game. It's insane.
Shit. No, I mean a double 2-1 assist, 2-1 shooter.
And like double 2-1 shooter. Yeah, I mean that's also just really.
He played so well into Avatar.
Yeah, he knew how to play the matchup. Also like.
That was the most impressive. Every other stream game kind of looked like it was a Slime CX attack, and
yeah, like it didn't feel like they were doing anything that made Slime look good, at all.
It just randomly the burn 4 sticks and then they win.
Yeah, it was unfortunate. I mean, it's what it is. I still think Slime is a perfectly fine deck for trios. It's personally the deck of these. It's the deck I would want least on my team. I think I would rather have this deck or this deck over this.
All right.
But.
And now for a final deck.
All right, Bochi the Rock. So realistically
available
right now,
only one of the BSF.
Can I be like, if I want to be real, like, it's probably like here or like here.
That's pretty fine. I'll put it higher.
So
I think it's higher than this.
My logic for why Bochi is as good as it is right now, even in this format, right? I think people sleep on this deck. People just saw it not really doing much, and they just decided this deck is bad. This deck is not bad. It's vanilla. That I will say. But what Bochi has is super sick tech cards. Bochi, do I have my JP list?
Oh, I listed your JP list on the thing.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm flattered. It's at the bottom right.
It's kind of pretty much similar as my deck, except I don't run double 1-0 real.
No double 1-0 Rio.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my list is like teched into the world of like slime and stuff existing. So this is my list. Over here. So this is the post ban list, which is I think what's important to know because I do own this in JP. I don't own this. Obviously, doesn't own English yet. But in the world where Overlord was still around, this didn't exist. This was the There's a 0-0 Kita that gives your whole back row hexproof, and then it has act, rest it, put a character or the named event under it as a marker, and then you can pay one rest it to pick that card up. So you had like a recurring like pay one plus over and over and over, and then it kept your card safe from that. And then versus like slime and stuff, you have this Rio, which just says pay one, choose a trait. All your opponent's characters lose that trait, which made the Murons like babies.
Maybe
And you can just run over.
You can
easily run over, and then you play like Rio Runner to make sure this card can actually get over, so it becomes a 75 on attack. Just makes it really, really hard. Mr. Usui Choi, thank you for the 10 months. I love you, Kun. And you have like really good selection with like this card, the Grabby Hands Futari, just to pick up anything because this Rize is a bomb. You get to play a bomb in your deck, which I think playing a bomb in your deck, I think we've accepted like when your deck is allowed to play bombs, it's really strong. It's just always sometimes it's hard to justify the bomb. Obviously, overhand Brainstorm, Takitsuba that gives you extra power whenever you your things die. So if you trade like your bomb into something, you get power, whatever.
I think the strongest thing about Takasubo is that you can just grab finishers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it
like,
grabs your finisher.
A lot of time,
I
just late game.
I grab this card.
Use it to grab the utility.
I'll grab this card a lot. Off of it. Cool additions I think that came out of post ban Bochi are playing the free fresh. Because this deck is an experience deck, you have to play a high count of this card. And so you're playing like 3 to 4 of this, depending on how you feel about it. I think it's a 3 of personally. And I play 2 of the dinosaur Bochi because this card gets really big. But yeah, you play this card. This card just says discard this to free fresh, which is pretty strong, and this is easily grabbable. You have a Fumio. You have the best stock shuffle in the entire game. I think this is the only one that's costed appropriately for this effect at 1 stock. Oh, the thingy is off-centered. Oopsies. Here you go. Yeah, that was 0. That was the thingy. But yeah, this is probably the most well-costed one at 1 stock. It goes to memory. It gives 4K. That I never remember it does that, but it does that. And you have this broken early play. You think this card's broken too, right, Kevin? Like, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
So like, this card's insane.
What I consider is how Bochi is. It's like imagine you have
you
the
spend
core
so
of
much stock
Izuki.
all the time.
You have the core of Izuki, but instead of using all your resources for an insane finisher, you have a decent finisher. Is really easy to do because it's Marin. But that means you can play more towards these EPs and play better.
The fact that this card, like, this doesn't actually need hand. So you basically stuff your hand, not for anything important. You stuff it for compression. Like, your hand is literally just extra compression. And then you convert it into heals with this card by just playing your Bochi. This card with this is effectively just a ditch 1, heal 2 to stock. Because you can actually play on a full board, you can still play this down. Because the Weiss rules say you can play this card and then play this card on top of the Bochi, and it sees this effect to sack the Bochi off your board before this card actually gets sent to waiting room. So you can actually just dunk it while they're on board in the same slot and get it. Which is like very niche, but it comes up every now and then if you're on a full board and you're like trying to heal multiple times. Which is cool. 9/5 0 cost healer. Super duper strong. Yeah, this card's really good too. It's like I said, it's Marin, but because the end of attack, what's actually really sick is that you on the same 4 stock you need for triple Marin, you get triple Marin plus stock shuffle. And on 5 stock, you get triple Marin plus Fumio.
So like even though the finisher's worse than Izuki, it's actually not that much worse because you have the decompression clause that Izuki doesn't have.
Yeah,
and you can actually afford to play them.
If your opponent
has
like 7
you have similar finisher to Izuki, obviously still worse, but you can play for natural mid game without crippling.
Yeah, not sitting there and being like, oh my god, and then you lose. The amount of times I've played Izuki and I've lost my top end because like I missed my door, and now suddenly I'm like, oh, I have to throw my hand away to try to actually get this door to play my combo. It's like too often, or like you lose an Izuki top end because this deck only needs experience 2, you just level this card or this card, and you never have to worry about leveling. You never have to level this card ever. Your green you level is usually just like this, or like one of these, and you don't really care. It just this deck is super flexible. It's super nice. There's also a lot more tech cards you can play in this set that I don't play. Like I said, like in the current format, it has the cards for the current format. That's good.
Like,
so you play around that.
even some decks even end up running like 7 bombs because you play the clock bomb hand stocks too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can play that. I was looking at that card too. I had that card in my list at one point, and I cut it for this card. I like this card a lot. It's also a Nijika, and I like Nijika.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think Bochi's really well positioned. I think it's like here. I'd even be like willing to put it here, but I think Spy has like a niche. So, but it's like I don't think this is like a very contentious spot. Bochi's very good. I would let Bochi be on my team, and I wouldn't think twice about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I mean that is all of the sets. This is kind of the Jason order. So now we'll let Kevin tell me where he thinks I'm wrong, and we can work this around to be something more presentable.
I think Soul Tier 1's cringe.
Soul Tier 1 is cringe?
Yeah. We should move.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up. I'll concede Avatar is better than Overlord in that it's easier. It's easier and it has like a better ceiling. It kills better. But I think this deck is like the best defensive counter deck in the game, and I think that's respectable.
I actually just think it's crazy how Slime is not tier 1.
I just don't think it's tier 1.
And Caligura is not tier 1.
I don't want to do 5 tier 1s though.
You don't want to do 5 tier 1s?
I don't.
Fine, we'll leave it like this. We'll keep it as Jason.
I mean, I like the thing is I wouldn't put this. I would put this here before I put this here. Like actually.
You're so
I really this deck is too high roll, bro. It's too high. This deck scams.
Okay,
this deck high rolls.
It's not standby pants. It's literally X pants.
Okay, but even A pants I don't think is this good.
I think you're cringe.
I'd be willing to do this.
Fight for the Cali.
This?
I'd be willing to do this. Slime.
This fair? I'd be willing to do that. I'd concede this.
You concede that?
I think this deck has too many results for me to be like out in a denier of this. Like I think it's granted. I think its results are just on the ease of play of this deck. I don't think this deck is actually that good comparatively to like some of these other things here. But I respect the deck. I own the deck.
I don't.
It is very comfy to play. I'll say that much.
Though.
Like, right? If I knew if we were playing with people that I could play it better, I think it's like this. But I respect that people like 81K1 Slam go, brr. But I won't concede this. I think this is just factual.
What
would
else
I be willing to do this? I hate this deck so much.
I don't understand why you hate it so much, dude.
Because it's high roll. It's because Kevin, you say it's X pants, but we know it's not X pants. We know it's not. We know it's standby pants. Show me a single 8. Was there a single 8 pants that has topped the trios event yet?
Trios? I don't know.
Like, and I don't care about the event. I don't care about Worlds and before because frankly, I already said I don't know how that deck performed at Worlds the way it did. And now we have Chainsaw Man and stuff, and we have like decks that don't care about this card. Like Miron doesn't matter as much anymore. I still think the fact that English Bushi left the hexproof alive is like a complete ineptitude of showing what the problem was. Overlord does not fold the slime 9 out of 10 times. Overlord folds the slime if you're bad. Like actually, it just folds the slime if you're bad. Especially current slime. Current slime that's super inconsistent at doing the game that it does. I think it's like ridiculous. That like, yeah, sure, bro. If you're playing standby and you double trigger your fucking Muron, you put double Muron plus hexproof in the front row at level 1. Yeah, bro, you're the fucking best deck in the game. You beat Overlord 9 out of 10 times when that happens. But I think when like the average 8 standby game happens, you don't push any damage. I mean, I don't like standby slime either, but people aren't playing non-standby slime. That's the problem. People like Kevin puts X pants, but I don't see X pants.
Well, like Adore pants did top though.
Yeah, the Yabi did. Right? It was Yabi. It was literally Yabi.
Wait, was it Yavi? Yavi
Yeah,
himself?
yeah, it was Xavi.
Oh, wait,
Like,
he was playing. He was
yes, he
playing
played.
slime.
Because he wanted to scam people with the uneroded version of the stupid card.
Oh yeah, and then they forced him to play the errata version.
Like,
That's what happened too in Houston. That's why I was like, oh man, this card is so sick,
look,
Sam. You can sack you can
yeah, like,
Ricky for that, sacking Ricky, search your level 1 combo, fucking feel good, and then I asked Connor day off because Connor was head judge of but Mr. Bosum's like was head judge of
yeah,
Houston.
like,
And then
I
the man's
will,
like, yeah, you had to play JP Texas like fuck.
yeah, okay, Mr. Hawk 2K4. I will concede if people start playing 8 pants, right? I would put slime higher because I do think 8 pants is significantly better and significantly more consistent. But as it stands, if everybody's just gonna keep playing standby pants slime, I don't respect that deck in an environment, and I think that Overlord like is really good into that deck. And even then, like my losses against slime in New York were because my game was really bad in top 8 of New York, and in the one game, both me and my slime opponent just fucking misplayed like monkeys, and then he came out better because he misplayed first, and then I misplayed second. So that's how that happened. But yeah, I like Door Pants is perfectly fine. But again, that's a deck that if people understand how to play Weiss Schwarz and how that deck functions, it doesn't get to do a lot. It just becomes a top check add out of like look at top 2, pick one, add one, mill the other combo, and that's not very good. Or mill one, trigger one, right? Mill one, or add one, trigger one, which is like whatever. If you don't actually get to shoot cards, it doesn't do a lot. But yeah, I think this is fair. I think slime is puts up the results. It's good enough. This has put up significantly more results. This is my bias. This deck's broken, and this deck's broken.
Well, is that true? It has. I mean, besides winning worlds,
What? This deck has so many results actually. Like
it's
no
dude.
like no
It is
cap.
two
It's
tops in each event, but in slime has
wait no. There's no way Hall
slime
has
has
only
eight.
2 tops in each event.
Yeah, so six tops total. With slime has 8.
Uh, 1, 2. Is actually only 6. 3, 1, 1, 3. I guess because there's 2 8 standbys too. I guess that's fair. 4. Maybe that's why I was thinking there's more Hollow Live. Sure. So there's 4 of this. There are 6 slimes, and 2 of the slimes. Is it 5 standby, 1 door for slime? Millum.
Yeah, something like that.
Millum. Or standby. There's the 8 standby. So no, it's 4 and 4 of these decks if we're being fair. If we're talking about the two decks that went to Worlds. So
Hmm.
if we're talking about raw slime like the standby Muron deck, it's 4 and 4 because one was 8 standby.
Oh,
Yes.
wait, I was talking about BSF, but yeah.
Yeah, BSF.
I
Yeah,
mean,
and
at
BSF.
World, it had 3 top 8s
Yes,
versus 2 top 8s, so it
but
wasn't that much different.
yeah, but I think it was sacking, as I said before. But yeah, it was 4 and 4. But regardless, I think this is how I would leave it. I think that, like I said, this deck is just too high rolly. This deck is not high rolly, but I think that's fine. I think that's fair. 8 standby Hall
Hmm.
Out, I think is still really good. I don't think this.
Chainsaw Man is dumb. What has the best matchup into Chainsaw Man? Probably Avatar.
Yeah, probably Avatar.
If it was Kishibe build, then it's probably then Overlord as well.
Yeah, Overlord has a great matchup into Kishibe because like they're not playing any change counter and you just can't do anything to Ein. Like that deck just functionally does not do anything to Eins at all, and it just gets to farm. At least if you play, even if you don't play Kishibe, I don't think your matchup into Overlord is super duper great. It's like you shove them or you lose.
Mhm.
Because you can't kill their cards. They free farm you with Shal tier combo to plus if they want to, and then you're sitting there and you're just kind of like, if I ever take a 4, I think I just lose. And they have tap
Slime
counter.
Chainsaw Man
Whatever.
matchup. If Slime, it really depends on who has a better level 2 game. I think.
I think it's really bad that like standby doesn't push damage against Chainsaw Man in that early turn, and like Chainsaw Man just gets to farm off that. Like I think Chainsaw Man gets to be really aggressive to slime there, and that's really bad for them. How do you push damage in the early game with Chainsaw with a Guilty Gear? You trigger. You play the
Mm.
Giovanna, It
you
throws
also
cards to stock,
you,
trigger, and you have
you have the ones that are like
yeah,
gains
the
and
one you
soul.
lose the Pharaoh gains a soul too, so you can make some extra damage off of that.
Any
So you only need
opinion
to
of
have
4-color
one.
avatar actually unplayable. Like if you're not
That deck's a for fun
abusing
deck.
Soka, if you're not abusing Soka, the
Yeah,
avatar
that's a for fun locals deck. But yeah, I think this is fair. Anything to say about this?
Yo, why is tier 3 so lonely?
I
Let's
don't
put the
know.
actual links down.
But Agiling's toxic.
Yeah, so it can be toxically in tier 3.
All right.
This looks
You,
much nicer.
I'm okay with this though.
Okay, you did that there.
I think this is like of these three decks, I think this is the best one. I think the mid game is really strong. Um, Carmen, Mr. Beanwolf from PGH White Wars, went on a whole thing about how he thinks that this is the premier mid game because it hits the most insane. It hits the highest power lines of any other deck, which is true. At level 2, it has the highest power lines, and it's a really good litmus test for how good your mid game deck is in terms of power. Is if you can scale this card, or if this card scales you defensively, which I don't think is necessarily wrong. This deck just loses to any change counter, but I don't really think any change counters. I guess it's because of Overlord. It's really strong, and that's what hinders this deck, I think, from being better. Is because if you play any change counter, respect Overlord, which fortunately, not that many people actually respect Overlord, which is pretty pog. That's
Like
yeah.
the
This
only
deck gets to
the main
that
decks
LEP's
you have to worry
broken.
about that runs anti-change counter will be just slime.
Yep.
And maybe a standby
Slime, and then I would expect Hololive to do it. I mean, I expect both of these Hololive decks to play any change counter because it's a soul trigger. It's free. Like just play it.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you not play it? Boshi doesn't always play any change counter. It can though, for sure. In the world in this form like this, I'd play any change counter. Slime does.
Slime you need spy.
Yeah, Spy does, but the problem with Spy is like decks like Overlord can just side Spy and not actually care about this deck at all.
Overlord sucks with 99% of pilot sucks.
Yeah, we went over that. But yeah, we went over the fact that the
if
OVL
we're
pilot
talking about
suck.
ideally, if you're
A good pilot choosing to play Overlord, I think it's one of the best decks in the game.
if obviously if we play the average player base, we swap slime and Overlord. If we're talking about average player base.
If we're going average,
but we're talking about
base, like if we're talking about the actual average player base, it's like
okay, Overlord's not up there.
This. It's like this. If we're talking about like the average player base,
I would play slime higher because slime is literally just it's pretty.
Sure, you high roll and you win the game. Sure.
Like literally, we put Sam. Sam literally played 1 day of slime and he went 4-2.
Yeah, because you don't have to think on that deck. That's like the best part about it. But
like we play average player base skills.
It's like this, right? Like maybe it's like this. It's still probably like this because this deck scams people. But like when I want to actually respect my opponents in an environment, it's like this. Like if you go to top 8,
yes,
like,
lower.
Oh yeah. Oops, there we go. There we go.
Wait, no. Wait,
yeah.
Wait. SCS
yeah, that was
right.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that? How SCS was? Was that SCS third?
Yes, it was third.
Okay.
I mean, I could be convinced it's like this, but I like this deck. I don't like this deck. So my marginal says I want to play like this because this deck is better into this.
But I will say, if you want to play the three of the top best decks, you're gonna need more than a night square for grinding.
I mean, unironically, this is my premier like team. It's literally I've told my locals that my team consists of 1, 2, 3, or this. I'll take this. And then if you really want to, if you're like a Kevin, I would let you play like this. Or if I don't trust my
Clinton
teammate, they can play this. Or Clinton, I would let Clinton play this. Although he's playing with 2 Soul, I don't really like the 2 Soul. That's like a whole different can of worms. I don't know if he's still on it though, but he was on it.
I don't know if he's still on it. I haven't talked with him in a while.
Tier 2 though, I think tier 2 is pretty fair overall. I'd probably do like this maybe. Ichika's probably here because of anti-change counter. Same thing with Ramlethal. Ramlethal also kind of loses a little bit because of anti-change counter being popular. You cheat in the Ramlethal and it gets anti-changed, you're really sad. If you expect to see Overlord and you're playing, depending on the deck you're playing for this, it's either like here or here. If you're playing the board wipe, it's like here. If you're there, otherwise, inverse. I think I'm going to do this. I think I like Bochi more than I like Slime. I think Bochi's a lot more consistent as a deck than Slime is. And Bochi has a lot more cool text and doesn't just outright lose to the things in this format.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think you have a better having a
Spot has a
better
problem where
yeah.
it
If
has
you
one
can't
game plan,
stick
but
Fionas,
yeah.
or if it misses, oh my god, if it misses the Fiona changers, this deck just fucking loses. Actually, just loses the whole game. But yeah, like Bochi has really good text into Overlord, into Slime, actually into
Why
Hollow
not
Live
slime?
too.
Why is just spamming slime? Did you say slime?
Oh, did I
You
say
probably said
Slime?
slime.
Oops, whatever. Sorry, I hate Slime. Um, as you can tell. You know, I was actually a really big believer in Standby Pants Slime too. When it was first getting played. I thought the deck was so fucking broken. I was telling Darcy all about it too. I was like, yeah, Darcy, I think this deck is fucking insane. It's like, oh my god, the ceiling is absurd. And then I watched it like low roll a bunch and I'm like, oh. I understand now. I was
Sometimes
watching
you
the
don't be
peak of
like,
this. I was watching the peak of this deck, and
dude,
now I'm
okay,
watching
every
the
game on the
canyon.
road stream, they fucking trigger standby
Bro,
level
they made
one.
that deck look so good. Like, holy moly! I realize this is off center too. That bothers me. Yeah, they made that deck look so nice. If honestly, if I was basing my votes on the community tier list off purely the games at Worlds, yeah, I'd probably put Slime where they're putting Slime too. Like, oh god.
Oh, those spoils stuff. We haven't really
Bro,
communicated.
everybody knows it. Everybody knows it's high. Everybody knows it's high. Let's be real. Everybody in here that's voted for it has probably
I
give
would
it a
get
fucking
much
9 or 10.
higher. So
Yes,
high.
it can get higher. And other than that, what? There's Oh, let me zoom in on this. There we go. There is
Okay,
what?
well.
Nothing else really here. I don't think any of this matters. Unless you want to fight for something, but
Yo, Don Machi top of garbage.
okay. Realistically, so just to be honest again, there should be like a Dow list in my opinion that's like here with 8-book. That's where I would put this.
You put
This
8
is
book that
not there.
high?
Yeah, I would. Like I said, I think 8
Top,
book's a
top
really
of tier
strong one.
3?
Yeah,
Okay,
I think 8 book's a
understandable.
really strong 1K1 deck.
Okay, understandable.
I think it has like really good zeros and whatever. Send in those payments for
Hmm.
bottom tier. What do you mean? We got the payments. Well, other than that, I mean, yeah, like this doesn't matter. Like this is all whatever. Tier 4 is just garbage tier. You know, you can have your favorite thing. We got darkness in here. We got this here, whatever. This is whatever. This could probably go down. I don't really care. I don't know if we showcase
Yeah,
it
but
though.
I
Like
I think it looks nicer being in tier 3 though.
what this? Because of the little
Just
staircase.
the little staircase looks nice. We need one more deck in 1.5
We can't do
to be
that.
the true
We can't do that.
staircase. We can't though.
Yeah, it wouldn't even be a true staircase, right? It would shift over one like that.
Fuck. Then we have to move it one deck down for the other two.
No. This is fine. I think this is actually like a pretty. This being like a 4x4 is a pretty adequate thing of the format. Like these are the 8 decks that I would expect to see and perform highest in an event. 100%. How many? Yeah. How many top of darkness? All right, bro. You go to another event, you win that event. I'll put it top of tier 4. I'll make an addendum. You have to get the win.
He got a third though. It's or a fourth
No.
though.
No, that's
was
not
it
good
third or
enough.
fourth?
No, it wasn't. No, he got like didn't he get like top 8?
Wait, I thought he got a fourth in Texas.
Was it 4th? No. No, it was not. It was top 8.
No.
I respect it. If everyone plays not Overlord, I'm Gucci. Yeah, sounds about right. Oh, true. There was two Overlords in top 8. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know how that deck ever plays against Overlord actually, but yeah. I mean, I think this looks pretty litty.
Yeah, he got fourth for BCS. That's all I was remembering.
For the BCS, yes, and he lost. You lost to my local. I think right. Kanatamarian was the one that beat you. In well, like not top 8, but top 4. But yeah, I think any other things you want to say about this? Anything you want to change around, Kevin?
Hey, where's your A Standby Hall live deck list? Deck
Where's
profile.
I did that. That's like the highest performing thing we have on our channel in like forever.
Okay, where's your Chainsaw Man deck profile?
I thought about making one, but like I hate that fucking deck. Yeah, look, see, look, just to prove it to you, right? Look, here is Overlord with your fucking bait ass clickbait title, and
Wait,
then
what I
here's
call
Ace
it?
Damn Hololive. Burn one 8 times to win.
Oh shit, that's a fucking banger title.
And
Holy shit.
then
I'm a
we have
fucking
Ace Damn Hololive, possibly the strongest Hololive deck. What this is actually big a clickbait because this was so not true at this format because this is when Alice was still around. But I fucking love this deck. Yeah, like this performed really well because it had the word Hololive in it. That's the secret.
I can love Whole Life.
I heckin' love Hololive. Damn, our BCS tier list we got 3K views 6 months ago. See, there's the last time we did it. We did one 6 months ago. Nico out here being like, we did another tiers before. Anyhow,
All right, I'll
this
see
is
you
our
guys
list.
again in 6 months for the next
Yeah,
one.
true. Yeah, I mean, we'll probably do one of these again for BCS, obviously. Maybe we'll do an end of trios roundup. We'll see how we're feeling about that. So when are the other views being uploaded to YouTube? That's a really good question. When are they being uploaded to YouTube, Kevin? I don't have them. I can't do. I don't have access to our YouTube channel. I don't have access to the YouTube channel.
Okay, you want to go to our Twitch, like our VODs, and just like click and export to YouTube on them.
You're the fucking worst. I'll try to figure it out just for you, Mr. Kingpen. I'll try to figure it out because I would love to have things actually on our channel.
You work.
Jeopardy flopped. Yeah, Jeopardy flopped. It's hard. Jeopardies are hard.
Jeopardy's hard if you don't make it English only, because a lot of these Jeopardy ends up being JP cards because those are the most interesting.
Yeah, those are cards people are like, wow, I could never have guessed this because I don't know fucking DeCrapo, and it's like, yeah, I don't blame you.
We actually have to. If we ever do a Jeopardy, we have to do English only.
Yeah, I mean, view counts. People fucking love tier list. But no, because Twitch takes a percentage of that, so you lose money every time you subscribe to your own channel. But yeah, I mean, this is the list. Final list. I'm gonna post this on Twitter. Okay, I didn't know if you knew, man. Just to be safe.
And post on Twitter. Come on, man. Yeah, you got at least wait a week. So
wait a week?
Yeah. So we can rake in all the Twitch VOD views.
Oh my god. Don't you like post it the day after, the minute after we do this every time?
Huh? I only post a community tier list. I rarely post this tier list.
I think you're capping. But anyhow.
I probably am capping, but you know. You mean X? True.
Yeah,
dude, why don't you fall?
Sorry, I dead named Twitter. My bad. I mean, what? But yeah. So anyhow, here is the final list. Everybody, you can call me bad. You can call me whatever for saying slime sucks. I don't really care. This is my list, not your list. I will be bribed to put darkness up. I don't feel bad about it. But
okay. So how if I win Vancouver with Psychono, we'll put Psychono in tier 2. Oh shit!
I'll put it up here.
Oh shit! Okay, time to start grinding. I see you guys.
If you can get your teammates to let you have Psychono, I'd be really impressed.
No, they're gonna make me play Avatar.
So Review Starlight. Okay, if I had to play Review Starlight, it's like here or like here. Nobody voted for Review Starlight though, so it did not get put on here.
No, you could have asked me to put it on here though.
I don't care enough about Review Starlight.
I just don't know any Review Starlight decks.
I mean, my local plays Standby Pants, and that seems fine, but I don't fucking know what Review Starlight plays, dude. Like,
I don't know any Review Starlight deck. All I know is all I know is my one local plays the Juno deck, and like stomps and everyone out of nowhere. The bar deck.
Put Blue Archive for shits and giggles. No, we don't have it in English yet. Blue Archive is like here.
Yo, where's Shauna? Where's Shauna? Where's my girl? Shauna?
Oh shit, where's Shauna actually?
Because she's no, not yet.
Oh, it has no date yet, right? No, it does.
She has a date, but she's not gonna be out for BSF.
When is it? July? August?
July 19th, so after the final.
Oh, okay. BSF. Yep. So doesn't matter. We'll talk about it for BCS.
But in France, the France one will have Shotgun Oshana. No, Shotgun. I mean, Ruby premium booster will be out the last one.
Holy, I forgot that exists. Oh my god. That's crazy. You can only play the no finisher build. Oh, because you don't have Dengeki yet. True. That's so funny.
But you also don't have the 2-0 event though. That's kind of smooch.
That's huge, actually. Yeah. That's unfortunate. Well, we'll worry about that come the BCS season, though. Not now.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see you guys in 6 months.
Yeah, I will. So I will try my best to put this. I'll figure out how to put this on YouTube, so it'll be there, and the VOD will be there. So you guys
all you gotta do is just give me.
Yeah, I'll have you show me right after this.
Yeah. Well, you don't have access to the YouTube channel, right?
No, don't I have to export it? I'm just gonna export it, and you can do the rest.
Just remind me too.
Baited your friend at max on release, based. All right. Well, that will be all for tonight, guys. It's all 2.5 hours. That went about as long as I expected it to be honest.
All right, and if you want to make if you think Jason's
list.
wrong and you want to have your own opinion, you can vote on the community tier list.
Yeah, for real. Like I put it in the Facebook post too. I put a link to it. It's in the whatever the fucking what is that Discord?
Jason's just trying to bribe you guys to put it over higher.
Look, I've given up on everybody putting it higher. Here you go. You guys can have this. If you're not in, oh, I can't post it. Just kidding. I'm not logged in on Steam Labs. Here you go, Kevin. You can go put this in the Twitch chat. If you're not in this chat, I don't know how the fuck you got here without being in this Discord. But if you're not in this Discord, there's a link to the community tier list. Yeah, you're free to do that. You're cringe if you don't put it on the community tier list, though. I am personally of the opinion, and I've told this to my locals too. If you feel strongly about any certain decks in particular, you don't have to vote on all of them. Just vote on the ones you feel strongly about. An opinion is better than no opinion. In that regards to everything, because it does influence literally everything.
Yeah, but I know I saw a Space Cowboys response.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's say you gave 110 and
some opinions are worth less than
anything else.
That's based. All right. Well, he did his best. He did his one thing, and it didn't impact anything. But I'm not cringe. I'm based. My opinions are good. I am Overlord. I am Overlord's single fan. And I will defend this deck to the day I die.
If there are 0 Overlord fans, that means Jason has passed away.
Yeah. It's true. I don't know how that whole meme goes. The only thing I know is my girl Moe.
I think it's like
if my girl and if my boy Ainz and my girl were drowning, see me burning one 5 times at my girl's funeral.
Okay, you're free to if you want.
All right. Thank you guys for coming. I appreciate you all.
Next stream
is
free run. Yeah, unless we do a random one, it won't be for like 3 weeks. Like
maybe I will fiend to do some grinding for Jersey. Unfortunately, if Toronto wasn't next week, and I have this thing, maybe next week I'll do the thing. Who knows? Middle of the week, we'll see what happens. Are you guys skipping Hall? Yeah, we're skipping the premium booster. That thing fucking blows, dude. Who was on for free run?
We don't have one.
Nobody. Because Kevin hasn't posted the fucking thing.
Oh, before you end the stream, I'll make it right real quick. I'm too lazy to do that right now.
I've been asking Kevin to make that thing for guests for forever, and he has not done it. So, yeah, Kevin is cringe. I agree. But yeah, we'll figure out our guest for free run. If anybody wants to be on it, feel free to DM Kevin or I on Discord. We're in the card games Discord, whatever. You can reach out to both of us.
Please DM friends.
DM Kevin, please. But anyhow,
don't DM me.
All right, guys, you have a good rest of your
friends
night.
_WS on Discord.
You're so cringe. Okay, anyhow,
Yeah,
good night. You have a good rest of your night, guys. Bye-bye.